Meow, 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 meow. We're almost to 5,000 subscribers.
Holy cow. Do you know how many members we have now?
I can find out.
Hi, BL.
What's up, Matthew Mangus?
Hey. It's been a minute since we've seen old Matthew Mangus.
Yeah.
Hey, Matthew Mangus, you sent me a Facebook message a couple weeks ago asking for money, so I think you got hacked.
Uh-oh.
We have 19 members.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Right on. I love it.
Damn right you do.
Hell yeah.
What's up, Ty Davis? What's up, Neil? We did send Cal Grizzly Raider. That's awesome. Welcome in.
Matthew, you ever your chance to do that tonight, Cowboy?
All right, it's about that time. Appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate the Raider Truth Chicken checking in.
Hey.
Let's kick off this episode 291 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, a Lincoln cut, touchdown!
Miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted to the piano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
I guess I better take my microphone off of mute. Am I off mute now? Wait, can you hear me now? Hello. Hello. Holy crap, what the hell did I do?
What's happening?
Wow, I don't even you got nothing too? How about
I
now?
can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
now? I don't know what.
I can hear you.
There we go. How about that?
there's
Are we
Jeff.
everybody
Okay,
back there
there's
now?
everybody.
Holy cow.
Jeez, what the heck is going on here?
What a great start to the show.
I hit
Yeah.
I hit some weird buttons over there, and I don't know what's going on there. Can you still hear?
I got you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah. You can
you
hear
me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
All right, Verizon.
I guess
Can
the
you hear me
question
now?
is,
There
can
we
they
go. Now
hear
I got
us?
it. There we
That's
go.
the question.
No, I got it now. I got it. I got
Oh
it
my
fixed.
gosh.
Hey, listen, I got fat fingers. Look at these things. I got these big old fat thumbs, man. They push too many buttons all at one time, man. Don't judge. I feel judgment from the dining room table here.
Well, get your shit together, man.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 291 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from the dining room because we still haven't sold this goddamn house.
Hey.
Let's sell this.
Coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
It is.
The good news is that for those of you that care, there's probably 4 of you that actually care, but we are taking possession of the Fan Cave 2.0. Where's the applause thing here? There we go.
Hey.
Finally taking possession of the Fan Cave 2.0 on August 10th. We still have to build some things, and we're going to make this really cool purpose-built podcast studio. It's going to be amazing. But we're going to be in the new space anyways to really get that going. So we're looking forward to that. In the meantime, we're still looking to sell this thing so we can get that thing on the road. But it's coming soon. Fan Cave 2.0 coming to you soon. We will be back in a proper place to do this show in the latter part of the summer. And looking forward to that. But in the meantime, anyways, like I said, we are still here at the dining room table. But we're still going to bring a fantastic show for you tonight. We've got a ton to get to. Go figure. No 3-hour shows, hopefully. But we still have a lot to get to and a lot to cover tonight. It's funny, like here we are in the offiest of the off season, and we've still got, tons of Raider news out there. So there's a lot to go over. And so without further ado, let me go ahead and turn it over to my best friend and yours. He is the man that adorns the eastern portion of the dining room table. My best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff.
Well, yeah.
Here's styling and profiling.
Oh my gosh.
What up, Swaggo?
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm fantastic, except that this cord is in your shot.
Oh,
Yeah, here,
nice.
here, I'll fix that. There we go.
there we go.
Perfect. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I
there
got
you
you.
go.
I got
No,
you,
that's
dog.
good. Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, Raider Nation, how are you?
Hey, it's Swag Jeff.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm fired up to be here, man. And yeah, there's so much stuff to talk about because some of our former players keep saying stupid stuff.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I
what's the
mean?
deal, man?
What
do you mean some?
all the stupid stuff.
Hey,
I didn't want to, just.
You don't want to sell the lead. I got you.
didn't
I got
want,
you.
yeah. But I'm fired up to be here, man. I'm super excited about Fan Cave 2.0, man. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Yes, we got to sell this thing, but you ain't passing up on 2.0. It's gonna happen no matter what. And dude, because now we're not content creators anymore, Murph.
Show producers.
We're show producers now. So we need a full-on podcast studio, and it's coming at you, Raider Nation. So fired up to be here. But hey, Murph, we don't do the show alone.
Heck no.
No, absolutely not. To my front right here, across the table, please welcome in Michelle Sweat.
Hi. Had to look to the camera to see the people.
There we go.
Michelle. It is so exciting that Fan Cave 2.0, like, I can't wait to see it come to fruition. Like, that's just, if there's something to be excited about, thank God there's something to be excited about.
Yes.
I am in a little, I don't want to say I'm sad sacking yet, but damn.
Well,
there's
there's some sad sackery going
little
on.
bit.
some sad
There's a little
sackery
bit,
going on.
yeah.
There's some sad sackery going on.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be okay.
It is.
We're-
I know. I gave that speech the last time I was here, and here I am, not adhering to it.
Well, there's sometimes some new shit comes to light.
Well, yeah.
But it's like, oh my gosh, like we just, it feels like as Raider fans, sometimes this organization and us and as fans just can't get out of our own way. It's just like, man, it's just like, what's going to go, what's the next thing going to be? But anyways, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Listen, we say this all the time. Raider Nation is undefeated. We all got each
That's
other,
right.
and that's all we can count on, and that's okay because it's the most perfect, beautiful fan base that exists in all of sports, and so we will continue to lean into that, despite what the performance on and off the field is by the Raiders. And and we've got a little bit of a historical look back tonight, and we've got a lot to get to. We're going to get to all the Raider news, of course, but also we're going to take a little bit of a Wayback Machine little trip, and we're going to talk a little bit about the history. And I'm gonna keep it light because that's what we do around here. It's a lighter journey into the dark side. For those of you that are joining us, that are new listeners to Raiders Fan Radio, we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we take our Raider fandom very seriously, and we take our team passion very seriously, and that's all that we care about. That you as a fan do as well. We don't care how long you've been a fan, don't care how many games you've been to, don't care where you live, don't care how many jerseys you own. None of that defines your fandom. The only thing that defines your fandom is the passion in which you root for this Las Vegas Raiders football team. But I think that fandom can manifest itself in a lot of different ways. And, I think that I'm not going to pin it entirely on younger fan, but it certainly seems to skew with younger Raider fans that skews away from the things that are the pillars and the foundation of this whole Raider thing that we all love anyways. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But anyways, we got a lot to get to tonight. But first off, at the top of the show here, what we do to celebrate our episode number, which tonight is 291, I turn it over to my best friend and yours to tell us what significance that number has within Raider Nation.
Absolutely. Well, we need to talk about the real significance of the show.
Oh, okay.
The real significance of the show. So if you're tuning in, I've been promoting it on Twitter. We all have been all week long. So once again, this episode of Raiders Fan Radio has got a little stank on it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So One Nation Foundation. So have you talked about the foundation yet?
No, go for it, bro.
So if you're new to this show, like I think a couple people I've seen, I haven't seen them in the chat a whole lot before. Raider Truth Chicken,
Which is like
that's
a killer
brand
name.
new one.
Love that.
I love it, and he's like he does the cluck. He's like clucking in his chats.
Oh, nice.
Don't ever stop doing that. That is literally the best. So please don't stop doing that. But anyway, so if you're new to this show, a few years ago we realized we can make money doing this show. So we decided we wanted to give every bit of that money away. So we started the One Nation Foundation back in 2020. So we give to different Raider-related charities at this time. You know, if we grow big, we'll expand outwards from that. But right now, it's just Raider-related charities, primarily the Bolitnikoff folks. We also, this year, we're so proud to be able to partner with Raider Dad. And Josh at Raider Dad was kind enough to send a whole bag full of these Raider Dad patches. So tonight, at the end of the night, we will be raffling off one of these as well.
Nice.
Yeah. But the main raffle for the night, all going to the One Nation Foundation. And if you flip it over to Michelle right there, Murf, we've got a signed home Tim Brown jersey.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go, man. Let's go. So so before the show started, we had $110 already in the hopper. So we had Scotland's own David Love drop a 10 in there, and then Big Shane with a $100 donation as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Let's go, Big Shane.
absolutely. And then Billy Bats Raider just jumped in, threw in $10 as well for the love of the One Nation Foundation.
Let's go, Billy Bats.
So poker chip number 3 goes to Billy Bats Raider. So get in the mix, man. Every $10 super chat tonight, it doesn't matter if it's $10 or $5 kajillion dollars. You get the amount of poker chips per $10 for that. So get in the mix, man. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So yeah,
That is awesome.
Yep,
That is
absolutely. And
if you donate $5 gajillion dollars, you get us too.
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like just forever.
For whatever you want. We'll do this show in your living room.
Pause.
Well,
There we go. Clarify.
hey.
Pause. Yeah, but hey, and hey, so speaking of these raffles and stuff, so we're fired up about this Tim Brown jersey.
I think I just whored us out.
Yeah, well, listen,
Kinda
$5
did.
gajillion dollars
$5
get you a
gajillion
lot. That's all I know.
Hey, I'm
You know
telling
what I
you.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't go any further
No.
before we get canceled.
Right,
know,
right.
yeah.
But I do want to tease. I do want to make a tease for speaking of which,
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah.
tease it. So we have a really cool finale for the Summer of Swag. We just
Big
got it in the
one.
mail today. I don't know when this is officially going to happen, but it's going to happen very, very, very soon. So
We'd like it to be the first show in the new cave.
we'd like it to be the new show in the new cave. So Michelle's going to hold this one up right here.
This is
one-
coming.
This one may be the one I've been most excited about.
Look
Look at
at
that,
that.
beautiful away Bo Jackson. What?
my
Let's go,
gosh.
bro.
That's
Let's go. So that
beautiful.
one, so stick around because that one won't be, it's obviously that's not tonight. We're doing Timmy tonight, but here in the next month or so, we'll be doing that. So if you don't win tonight, start saving your money, all that stuff. We still got a Devontae Adams jersey that we're going to auction or raffle off as well. So we got some massive, awesome, cool swag items for you. And it's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So definitely get in the mix on that. We can't thank you enough. We had a bunch of people just jump in. Grumpy Raider fan, Kill Jadis with the One Chip Gang, $10 donation. Wyoming Raider, a $20 donation. And Ty Davis, a $10 donation. So, much respect to each and every one of you guys. Can't thank you enough. Keep those donations coming. It's all for the One Nation Foundation. But hey,
given to Raiders-related charities, and you brought up Raider Dad, we're going to hear from our buddy Josh Camonite here in a little bit. He called in Raider Truth Chicken.
Hey, there
Support
you
the
go.
One Nation Foundation with a $10 donation. Thank you,
go.
Raider
Respect.
Truth Chicken. Thank
Respect.
you so very, very much. And we give it all the Raiders-related charities. We're actually, I mentioned we're going to do a little bit of a retrospective. We're going to look at Fred Biletnikoff. We're going to look at his amazing career that he had with the Raiders, and we're going to talk a little bit about the legacy of Freddie. So part of Freddie's story is, sadly, he lost his daughter, Tracy, back in 1999 to domestic violence. And since then, in her honor, he started Tracy's Place of Hope and also the Biletnikoff Center of Hope. And that's what their foundation fosters, is that it's not only rehabilitative services for young women that are at risk of substance abuse and violence, but it also provides them, safe space. It teaches them, domestic skills, counseling services, all these wonderful, wonderful things to help these young women not only proceed to recover in a way as best they can as possible from those challenges in life, but then also to set them up for success going forward. So when they move on from the foundation, they move on from those centers, that they can foster for themselves and create their own lives and livelihoods. And so that's the kind of thing that we're doing with your money. We mentioned Raider Dad a couple of times. We're getting ready. They are getting ready to take a whole bunch of kids to a Raider game, and not just taking the kids to the Raider game, these underprivileged kids that normally wouldn't have an opportunity to do it, but they're going with their families, with their parents, with their parental figures. Such an important thing, to really make those connections through sport with family. And so, just wonderful, wonderful organizations. And we're honored to have our foundation be a part of that. So just know that even if you don't win anything along the way, whatever the case is, know that your money's going to a great place. 100% of the money that we get from you guys goes to our foundation. We don't take a cut. We don't buy tickets. We don't buy travel, nothing. We give 100% of that money away to those foundations. And so can't thank you enough for your generosity, your hard-earned money. We are so appreciative of that. And last thing I'll say is this about the foundation. Even if you can't support us monetarily, even if you can't support it, not us, but support the foundation monetarily, talk to your Raider friends. Tell them about the foundation. We'd love to have you tell them about Raiders Fan Radio too, but most importantly, tell them about the foundation. You can go to onenationfoundation.net. You could donate directly there. If you do any annual giving, if you're tithing from a commission check or whatever things that may come up where you may have some extra cash, you can give that to onenationfoundation.net. There's donate buttons right there. And you can, they can do it there. But even if that is not an option, just hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit a thumbs up. Just kind of help us amplify our message.
Yep.
That's all we truly ask, just so we can, generate more advertising opportunities through folks like Caesars, that we have an ad read tonight from Caesars, as they're now supporting the One Nation Foundation. So if you could just help us do that, we would certainly appreciate it. And all right, so now I'm going to shut up, give it back over to Jeff to talk about 291. Then we're going to hit some contact info and then get into some respect.
Absolutely. So yeah, so like Murf said, so each and every week, I take a significant moment within Raider Nation, relate it back to the episode number, and this one is 291, and I got a couple for you, man. These are really fun.
It's Twofer Wednesday.
These are really fun. And before I do that, Stacy Ruff, a $50 donation
nice.
to the One Nation Foundation.
Stacy,
Yep,
rule.
absolutely. So 5 poker chips to Stacy Ruff.
Thank you, brother.
Yep, and he said in honor of Derek's wife. In honor of Derek's wife, he said he might need a tissue as well.
Oh,
so yeah.
We may or may not be talking about that tonight.
Well, we can't not talk about it, But anyway, so episode 291, I got 2 for you.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
That's it. Hey, so the first one, so 291, we're going back to 1968.
Oh, love it.
1968, and
Let's talk a little Daryl.
yeah, let's talk a little Daryl, and let's talk about maybe one of the most popular games in 1968.
Is it the Heidi game?
It's the Heidi game.
There we
so
go.
The Heidi
All
game.
right.
So back in 1968, the Heidi game, Daryl LaMonica threw 291 passing yards.
Oh,
hey, there you go.
Nice,
there you
nice.
go. And if you didn't like that, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but we're gonna be talking about Snake.
Oh, my favorite.
God, we got to talk
Favorite.
about
Got
Snake
his
as well,
helmet
man.
sitting right there.
Absolutely, you do. Absolutely, and you know what? And he might have done this wearing that helmet.
You know, was it in practice?
No,
Remember, that's his
no,
practice
this isn't
helmet.
a practice.
So
well,
for those of you on the YouTube feed there, over
well,
Michelle's
it was
shoulder.
in possession of him probably.
Oh, yeah.
During this.
Oh,
So
okay,
and it's
100%, yeah.
1976.
That's the year that helmet is from.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
year.
So 1976,
go.
Kenny
Hey, happy
Stabler
birthday, by the way.
on their.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. So on their way to their first world championship,
Darn right.
the Oakland Raiders. The quarterback number 12, Kenny Snake Stabler,
Let's go.
passed the ball 291 times.
Oh, how about that?
Respect.
Good ones.
Respect. Yep.
Respect,
Good stuff.
Kenny, good
Good
stuff.
stuff.
There. All right, Swaggo, let's hit some contact info.
Okay. Woo.
Woo.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it,
909-345-3346.
How about emailing me? You want to email me?
Hey.
Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the
Ticky tacky talk.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube.
Hey.
YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Well, yeah. Good.
Ooh.
Who was late on that
me.
one?
That was me.
Dang it, Murph.
Yeah. No, that was me. That was a false start. My bad. Sorry, I thought I was going to get out of my stance quicker. All right, so
Premature. It's okay.
You're like the Will Compton of contact info. Just couldn't get out of your stance fast enough.
Year 10.2 loading.
Full to Compton.
Is that going to be like a Munson?
Full to Compton.
Full to Compton. All right, so hey, we're going to do a little bit of respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout-outs. Nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian. We like to give a little bit of respect.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Early. Oh man, me too. My wife's crying. You made my wife cry because of that. I'm out.
You have to come out of your stance early too. Make your wife cry like that. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Wyoming Raider in there. So I was like, not again.
Hey. Don't tell us about your life.
Very off-putting
right.
when you prematurely come off of your stance.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Matthew says everyone sounds like they're on mushrooms. Well, you're not wrong.
Well, you're not.
So anyways, here at the top of the show, we like to give a little bit of respect. And so first off, I want to give respect to, we have so many amazing booster clubs within Raider Nation. Of course, all the Black Hole groups are incredible, including our good friends up there in New Jersey at the Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. But, you know, Great Lakes Booster Club out there, our buddy Jimmy Zebach. And also, speaking of the Northeast, our good friends up there at Salt City Silver and Black. I want to give them respect because they're putting together an absolutely incredible freaking weekend around the Buffalo game this year. We're going to try to make it. I think at this point it's going to be an impromptu overnight or two or something for us to be able to make it because, again, we got all this stuff in flux with the new studio and whatnot, but we're definitely going to try to make it. But anyways, much respect, Salt City Silver and Black, Prison City Raider Nation Rochester, and also badassraidergear.com. So this is going on. I've got it. Here, you can find them on the Facebooks. They're all over the place. They're all over Twitters. Go follow them if you're looking to go to this game. September 16th and 17th. It's hosted by all those groups that I just mentioned. They've got hotel rooms booked, so they got blocks set up for you for there. They've got a Saturday night planned, which is, if we can make this thing, I would like for us to broadcast live. Maybe it's at the Soho Burger Bars where they're going to be out on Saturday night. They're in Buffalo, so we're going to hopefully make it up there, even if we can't broadcast, even just to be up there to be part of it. But then they got this big giant tailgate going on the next day. You can buy passes for parking passes. You can buy tailgate passes. You can do all this stuff through PayPal. It's all organized by Salt City and our good buddy Jay Morse up there. And so you can contact any of those hosts, any of those folks involved with Salt City Silver and Black, and just, again, mad Bill's Mafia, and do that whole thing in a tailgate and throw Jeff through a table even though he's got a broken arm. Like,
right.
Not even all that, but like that idea, just like these folks just know how to do it. And they're also one of the booster clubs too that like rep the Raiders in like everything that they do. You know what I mean? Like, just anyways, so much respect to them. Appreciate everything that they're doing there with the weekend around the Buffalo game, and hopefully we will see you guys up there. All right. Speaking of booster clubs, I also want to give respect to the man that designs everything. Yeah. So if you're looking at my camera, this RFR Nation Invasion Tour. Let's see. Jeff's got his new swaggering shirt on. If you want to rep the Ninth Island, and you can wear your swaggering shirt with the hang loose bone hand on there. Designed by our good friend at the Great Lakes Booster Club. He is the one and only Jimmy Zebach. And again, he designs all of our stuff. Much respect and congratulations to him because he has been selected to design all the artwork for the Blitnikoff Foundation dinner for the crowd.
How cool is that?
Super cool. So anyway, so congratulations to Jimmy Zebach and the amazing work that he's doing. Swaggo, you got one.
Absolutely. So I want to give respect to a guy that also just made a donation to the One Nation Foundation, a $20 donation. I want to give respect to our buddy Trinidad.
Hey,
Trinidad, man. And I want to give him respect not only because of the $20 donation that he just made, but because what's over my right shoulder.
That thing's legit.
Over my right shoulder. So Trinidad was fortunate enough to go to a signing for Paul's favorite player. That is the judge. That is Lester Hayes. So Trinidad got a picture and got it signed and addressed it to RFR crew.
Cool.
Like, how freaking cool is that? And then he
cool.
sent it to my house and said, "Hey man, surprise Murf with this."
Aww.
So yeah. So
I was surprised.
Yeah,
It
you
was
were
killer,
surprised.
man.
It was way cool. So yeah. So much respect, Trinidad. Can't thank you enough, bro.
Can't thank you enough. Scott, of course, his signature there with the number 37 and that pose. That Lester Hayes, but that's the famous, just that picture playing against the San Diego Superchargers there.
And you literally see globs of
stickum on his,
just falling off of his hands and his ankles and stuff. Yeah, that's so cool.
That thing is legit. So thank you so much, Trinidad. We appreciate you so very, very much for that. And so that's all the folks we want to give respect to. But in this world, there's good and bad,
right?
And we celebrate the good in the respect segment.
Yeah, every yin has its yang.
Yeah.
That's right. And so the when we got to go into the negative, some people are really cool and we respect them, and then some people are pendejos.
Yeah.
Pendejo. Pendejo.
That's my favorite one.
I know.
Pendejo. Pendejo.
That's my favorite one. Drops right there.
pendejo.
All right, so first off, I am a pendejo.
You really are.
I really am, because I put stupid effing. Wait, hold on. Let me get it set up here. Stupid
There we
Travis. almost cursed on the off button. Mother Kelsey. I put him in the respect segment because he had something nice to say about Raider fans. Well, that was stupid. And even you guys were like, what are we doing? What are we doing talking about Travis Kelsey in respect?
Yeah.
So not only am I a pendejo for putting Travis Kelsey in the respect payment, but then also I got a full freaking dose of why he needs to be in the opposite end of this segment, which is the pendejo. Because listen to this. So he's playing in a celebrity golf tournament. It's Patrick Mahomes' freaking golf tournament, okay? And it's in Las Vegas. Yeah. Listen to what he has.
What is it, like a charity? Like
Yeah, it's his foundation.
Muppets Across America?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ketchup on steak or something like that.
Right, there you go. It donates to people that walk like they got sticks up their ass. All right. All right, so let's listen to what Travis Kelsey had
Shit
to
my pants anonymous.
yeah. Oops, I crapped my pants. Remember
Yeah,
that
there
on
you
Saturday
go.
Night Live? Yeah. Anyways, let's listen to stupid ass Travis Kelsey.
All right, Trav, so you get ready to
And I only play this to piss you off, Raider Nation.
play in Patrick's Foundation golf tournament.
Yes.
You guys came in on the helicopter. It's kind of a dramatic entrance, right?
It was epic. It was epic. It made us feel like, at least it made me feel like a king with all these layers and all the beautiful Hawaiian culture that we're enjoying this weekend, man. It's been fun.
Okay, so you guys got the big match with Clay and Steph
Oh yeah.
later this week. All right, so this is kind of a tune-up.
This is the tune-up. Yeah, this is the tune-up. You know, we're still gonna try and come out here and win this thing, but we know when the lights are on, we got to show out.
Okay, so if you got something to say to Clay and Steph, we know Steph is like a supreme golfer too.
Yeah.
But what's the message right now?
The message right now is, you know what I mean. We've never lost in Vegas. You know, both on the golf course, we won our. As a team, we beat everybody at Justin Timberlake's golf tournament, and then obviously the Raiders. You know,
Shots fired.
Haven't lost to the Raiders yet. I don't even want to say yet. We just never lost in Vegas, so and that's the bottom line.
Okay, we're gonna end on that note.
Thoughts?
Bitch ass.
There go Michelle.
God, I just it's the same thing I said the last time. It's the punching down. Like, okay, we get it. Like, and he just is so smug. I just can't stand hearing him talk. He's a poser. He just sounds so put on. I can't stand that dude. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm ready for Spillane to put him in his place real fast this year.
I hope so, man, because look, they've got the receipts.
Yes.
That's the thing.
That's what makes it so hard.
That's the hardest freaking part is that, you know, and this could go into a whole bigger conversation that we'll save for later, but like, you want to know why certain players aren't around anymore? It's because we can't beat the goddamn Chiefs. And then they from Ring Around the Rosie, talking shit like this should freaking piss you off. And I didn't play it just to like, you know, start a riot, but it illustrates the idea that like, you want to know why they're our biggest rival? This is freaking Lenny Dawson, you know, Ben Davidson. This goes back like through decades and decades of literal hatred between our two organizations, between Lamar Hunt or whatever the Hunt was and freaking Al Davis. This is old school freaking rivalry that like, when I heard that stuff from Travis, it's like, because I'm with you, Michelle, it's so condescending.
Yeah.
It's so arrogant. And the worst part is he's not wrong. That's the worst part.
Right.
And until we do something different, he's going to continue to be right. And that sucks. And that's, look, I don't have hatred in my heart for anybody except John Elway, Phillip Rivers, and now Travis Kelsey. I can't stand these sumbitches.
Yeah.
Oh, drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Come on, Raiders.
Oh, please.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey, folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, Michelle. Hey, Raider Nation. Hey, we have an offer from Caesars. Caesars Sportsbook, you're not going to want to miss it for sure. So new customers, if you place your first bet up to $1,250 at Caesar Sportsbook. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is enter the promo code RFRFull. New members, you just sign up, use that promo code. Your first bet up to $1,250 is fully insured, Michelle. So you're not going to want to miss it. So sign up. Not only will you have your first bet insured, but you'll also be directly supporting the podcast, or more importantly, the One Nation Foundation. So all those different ways you can support the foundation, this is a great one. Get into Caesar Sportsbook. Join using the code RFRFull. Drop your first bet. It's only available for new customers. So if you already have Caesars, then just play through. You know what I mean? But also, so if you're a new member, check your state, because not every state has this offer. So make sure you check your state for the qualifying states that you can do this in. But use our code RFRFull. And please gamble responsibly. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado or 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. So so at the bottom of our page, you'll see the podcast for all the descriptions, rules, all that stuff. But $1,250, fully insured, RFRFull, Caesar Sportsbook. Get in the mix.
Do it.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
So I want to give respect to a couple people in the chat. Hooligan Nation came in and he says send them to Irwindale for their mini golf outing next time. It's a $40 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Right on.
Absolutely. And then Pineapple says aloha RFR, a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you,
And Pineapple, hey man, check out the shirt, bro. You need to get in the mix, man. Go to TeePublic and get yours.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to TeePublic. That's what on our. Where do you get the? Oh, you go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear.
Yep.
Or just go to our website, hit the gear tab.
Yep.
And then that will take you to TeePublic, and you can get One Nation Foundation shirts. You can get that swaggering shirt that Jeff has. You can get the the old school. Michelle's got the Get Made shirt there with the lightning and stuff. You can get all that stuff at our TeePublic site. And again, 100% of that money goes to the One Nation Foundation.
Murph,
and thank you
Jay
guys.
asked how he gets a colored name in the chat.
Oh, well, thank you. Why, thank you for asking. You can become a member.
This shit's just going to turn into a Jerry Lewis
I
telethon.
know, it's just us
By the time
asking
the
you
show's
for
over.
like, hey, can we have some of your money?
That's it.
Actually, it's not for us. It's for the foundation.
The next 30 minutes, we need $200.
But yeah, so right there, One Up says it in the chat. Click join. It's $4.99 a month. And that's to become a member, and you get the cool colored name. You can get cool new emojis. You get badges depending on how long you've been a member for. We talked a lot about it a couple weeks ago, but basically just give you the gist of it. I was never a fan of like signing up for Patreon things because I never wanted you guys to have to pay for our show. I don't think enough of us for those things. But you get some cool stuff like what Ron the Materator's doing in there in the chat, putting up all those little emojis and stuff that are all Raider related or show related. I thought, well, that might be kind of worth $5 a month. And so far we've got 19 of you that have joined up. And so we appreciate you very, very much for that. And you can become a member just by hitting join on the YouTube.
Also, too, I have not forgotten about the people that signed up that night.
you're gonna do sketch cards.
I'm doing that. Yeah. So I am working on that. So I want to make sure they know that it will be on its way.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And if you join tonight, you get a poker chip.
You get a poker chip.
You get a poker chip as well. So
we're gonna put in the extra $5 for you.
There you go.
We're gonna match your donation.
If you want to give us the other $5 and help out the foundation, you're more than welcome to. But every new member tonight, every person that joins and becomes a member gets a poker chip.
Absolutely.
So,
right on. Good stuff there.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
All right, new shit has come to light. And just super quick before we talk about it, Michelle, throw up the jersey one last time.
Yeah.
Because people are asking there in the chat room. So that's what you're playing for tonight, Raider Nation. Every donation of $10 gets you one poker chip into the drawing for the Tim Brown autographed jersey, all supporting the One Nation Foundation. And thank you guys so very, very much in there for what you do to support.
And
our foundation.
Omar dropped in a 10, and Chef B dropped in 20.
Oh,
so
sweet.
So much respect.
Thank you. Omar says the Raiders benched DC. Mark didn't want his salary to become fully guaranteed, which is petty, but it's a business. DC didn't like the fact, and that's how it was handled. I agree. And we're going to talk quite a bit about this coming up, Omar. But that's the gist of it, man. It's a damn business. And then Chef B says, let's go Timmy Brown, Raider Nation for life. And indeed, my friend.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to get on a little bit of a soapbox. If y'all don't, just
I like when you do this.
I do too.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have our very own digital soapbox here.
Dust off the old soapbox.
Keep him off his damn soapbox.
Why don't you come off that soapbox and
Get off your soapbox, will you? You only sound foolish out here in this wilderness.
All right, Bogey. All right, so here's what I'd like to talk about, and we're gonna set this up on a little bit of a lighter note, but then I got some opinions I'm gonna share here in a minute. First off, the Raider legacy is one of the most important things about our fandom. Is that, you know, regardless of how old you are or how whatever what you're able to witness live or not or whatever. None of that matters as long as you have an awareness of it. And I think that's important. I say that all the time about what I said at the top of the show. The only thing that we look at people and like not evaluate, because it's not about like our opinion, but like what level of passion do you bring to this Raider thing? Like that to me is like I have a lot of respect for that. I'll just say it like that. I have a lot of respect for people that like bring so much passion to their fandom that they do creative things with it. Like Michelle, she makes all this wonderful art. You know, people make podcasts. So many of our good friends in the podcasting community. People write songs. You know, like our buddy Graff writes music. You got people that write metal songs to hip hop songs. There's so many ways that, you know, or through like Trinidad is like such a great Raider Jesus, who sent us that really cool pen piece. Like, you know, so many people do so many cool things. Or with booster clubs, there's something else they do with their fandom. Those things are so amazing. And all that stuff is predicated on the history of this organization, the mystique, the things that Al Davis and these amazing players built. That's what this is all about. It's not about recency. It's not about, you know, frankly, individual players. And we're going to get into more and more of that as we go. But it's the collective unit. And that collective unit has some absolute freaking legends in there. One of the guys that epitomizes, sorry, I'm on my words. I'm in my feelings about this stuff. One of the guys that epitomizes that best is Fred Biletnikoff. You know,
sure.
We love Fred Biletnikoff because of the man he is and the work that he does and the work that he's done in his post-playing career. But in his post-playing career, he was an absolute stud. And the reasons that his career, I think, stood out so highly to us is that coming into the league, he wasn't really well regarded. You know, Al Davis became famous. One of the things that made him famous was his ability to evaluate talent in players that didn't represent, you know, like a consensus, you know, blessing on their ability. Freddie was one of those early guys that Al brought in, and so let's check in a little audio bite here, celebrating. This is a Hall of Fame celebrating Fred Biletnikoff as the underdog.
Critics said he was too small, too slow, and not strong enough to play in the NFL. But when Fred Biletnikoff caught 7 passes for 118 yards in his first NFL start, the critics were nowhere to be found. Deceptive speed and some of the best hands in football helped this underdog succeed in a big man's game. Super Bowl 11 was number 25's shining moment when he earned Super Bowl MVP honors. Fred Biletnikoff's 589 receptions and 76 touchdowns are not just great stats. They are a testament to a man who refused to be denied.
All right, so like the spirit of Freddie. We've had the good fortune of meeting and spending some time and interviewing Freddie. I don't think anybody, Michelle, back in the, I mean, there are a lot of them back in the day. There's, from Gene Upshaw and Art Shell, of course, and, the Soul Patrol and, of course, Snake and Dave Cash. I mean, you could take any of those players, Willie Brown, and really say this guy epitomized what it was to be a Raider. But it was their collective unit is ultimately what led to that legendary status. But what is it about what is it when I recorded that segment, I got chills.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know.
No, well, I mean, just thinking about he was too small. He was, and then to come out and do what he did and for the extensive amount of time that he did it, I think that's just screams the underdog who wasn't who shouldn't have been an underdog. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's the thing about him. And he's, and after meeting him, he's so humble and I would probably be like, yeah, look what I did, but he's such a humble human on top of that. So I don't know. I think he just had that swagger that, a Raider has. And I don't know. He's not just because I've met him, but he's one of my favorites just because he just has this aura about him from back then to now that it's just, he's a Raider,
And that's it. You said it exactly because, we've met him and got to talk to him about a lot of these things, but from the time he was a player all the way to now, he has carried that Raider spirit and
it's not about him.
And it's not about him at all. He understands that the shield is more.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
that's where I'm going with all
he's
this.
a piece of that pie.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a part of the puzzle, and the shield is the picture on top.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, another player that I think exemplifies that, my all-time favorite player, full disclosure, is Kenny Stabler.
Sure.
Here's Fred. So we're kind of building out the puzzle here. Anyways, this is just whatever. So we got Fred. You got this amazing player. There's these amazing things. This amazing, the underdog. Then you got Kenny Stabler, who played at Alabama. High-profile college player, comes to the Raiders in the second round, is in what I think is the best quarterback room in the history of football, which is George Blanda, Darryl LaMonica, and a young Kenny Stabler.
Yep, come on.
As LaMonica, the Raiders move on from LaMonica, Blanda retires, Kenny becomes the de facto leader of the Raiders. I think Gene Upshaw is underrepresented in terms of the way we as fans think about leaders for the Raiders, because I think Upshaw, man, Uppy was that dude, whatever. I could go on a whole nother side story about stories about Gene Upshaw, but he was the freaking the Rock. He was the power of the Raiders. You know what I mean? You think about that left side. I'm getting damn chills. Think about that left side of the offensive line. And this is stuff, Raider Nation, if you're a younger fan or just not aware of this stuff, dig into this stuff. Go watch interviews and watch gameplay of Gene Upshaw and Art Shell. Watch the way that they protect Kenny Stabler so much that Gene used to give Kenny shit in the locker room at halftime and go, hey, Snake, can't you move around back there or something? Because Kenny would just sit back there. Well, he's left-handed. Kenny would just sit back there, flat-footed, just surveying the field, just looking around, because no one's coming anywhere close to him.
Right.
And Upshaw would be like, man, why don't you do something?
Bounce around, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, but Kenny becomes the de facto leader, I think, of the Raiders, is certainly in terms of imagery, in terms of the way that the team is represented outside the locker room and the way that it's portrayed, is Kenny Stabler. And so let's check in with the legendary Fred Biletnikoff, talk about his friend, the leader of the Raiders, Snake Stabler.
Well, he was a great leader. He was a great leader that really gave off a sense of success all the time. A sense that we were going to win, and he had control of the ball game up there. He controlled the team, and that's what a leader has to do. And he was that all the way around, no matter what it was. Kenny had control of the game, the team, the players, the personnel you had on the field, knew how to use everybody.
All right. There's so many cute things in there that I take what Fred has to say and I contrast it to modern day football and the modern day state of the Raiders. He was in control all the time.
Right.
There was no doubt in Kenny Stabler's mind at any point, Jeff. He always expected to win. It was never a case of this external factor kept us from doing this. Nope. Didn't matter that we were the most penalized team in the league. Didn't matter that we got bum calls against us. Didn't matter that our owner was feuding with the NFL. Didn't matter that he was feuding with everybody else in the National Football League.
Right.
Didn't matter. Nothing mattered. External factors did not used to affect the Raiders. And this is what I say all the time. And listen, and we've talked plenty of, I've soapboxed about the penalties before and how we've gotten jobbed on so many calls. But guess what, Raider Nation? We used to effing win anyways. That shit didn't matter.
Right.
And Kenny damn knew it because that shit didn't affect him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and 2 points to that. I mean, and that's why John Madden, our favorite coach of all time, that's why he would ride with Kenny over anybody. You saw in Madden's, broadcasting career and all that stuff, he loved some Brett Favre. There's a few other players
Sure,
that
Troy
Troy
Aikman.
Aikman was another one, was always connected. But like they asked him the question, like, who would be your guy? After you've seen all of these things, who's your guy? It's Kenny freaking Stabler. And for that reason alone, he was a leader. He knew how to do things. He was so clutch. And like you said, despite all these other things, he still won anyway. And I encourage these, and you're going to talk about it, I'm sure that's one of the soapboxes you're going to get on. I would encourage new fans to go back and dig into this because the situation that we're in now and the whole, if this would have happened and this would have happened and, the blame game and all that stuff, when you're pointing at somewhere else, you got three looking back at you. You know what I mean? So, but Kenny didn't do that. Kenny had, yes, he had a good defense, but he had his problems all on his own. He had tons of problems, and he won despite of all those things
bad
as well.
knees.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, a whole
100%, man.
You know,
Yeah.
Michelle, look at the Immaculate Deception. Like, that game doesn't even get to that point if Kenny Stabler doesn't literally hobble in to the end zone on bad knees. Like, he's the one that, like, when again, contrasting to modern day players, and let's talk about quarterbacks. Sure. My question to people that are fans of certain players or certain quarterbacks, name me the signature plays.
Right.
Kenny Stabler has plays, like whether it's the Holy Roller or the Sea of Hands or what, like these incredible, iconic NFL moments, not just Raider moments, NFL moments associated with his career. Other players don't have those things. So to expect some older school folks to have a reverence when there's not those things connected, that's why it kind of gets lost on us, right?
Yeah, it's hard because, so he carried himself with control. Like, he was control. He said, okay, this is the situation. It sucks. Let me take care of it. I'll take care of it. And I think that's one of the differences. The thing that sort of sucks as every generation passes or as every season passes, these younger generations, unless they're going back and watching that, and that's like that's back in the day. Like, so it's hard for, because even Devin, who's 20, my youngest, it's hard for him because the Raiders his whole life have been the butt of the joke. And that's sort of like going back to the Kelsey thing. It's like the Raiders have been the butt of the joke for so many of these, especially these younger kids. So they're just trying to grasp onto whatever they can. And that's not it either, because then you're grasping onto things that are not real.
Yeah.
They're not real Raiders things. They're just it's all they know. So yeah,
that's a great point. That's a great point.
That's what makes it so hard. And I don't know, man. Oh, I feel bad for him.
That's a great. But
because we're removed from that just a little bit too. I mean, because I'm not much younger. You're a little
50.
removed from a lot of that
50.
too.
So like I was 4 when the Raiders won their first Super Bowl. But I was surrounded by people that this is before YouTube and the internet stuff, that my childhood, and I've said that for those of you that heard the show before, my superheroes were Fu and the Assassin and Snake and, Uppy and, Dr. Death. And like, those were my superheroes because those were the stories that I was hearing from my uncles and my dad. And they would talk about these guys and tell stories about Mark Van Egan and Pete Banaszak and all that. So like this, seriously, like they were iconic to me as a kid. So even though I was so young, like from the time I was old enough to know what fandom was, I just automatically knew I was a giant Raider fan because of the mad stork, kick him in the head, Ted. Like, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just these absolute, like, larger than life type characters. And we've lost that. And I know that we've sort of lost that anyways. We've lost it in music. We've lost it in sports because of the connectivity that we have with the internet. So it's not me sitting here being an old man trying to be like, oh, back in our day, it was, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying though, is that like that connection to greatness, it ain't there anymore.
It's not there. And I think that's, like, and focusing on the Shield is sort of the answer, but that's such a, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for kids to focus on the Shield. They're like, no, I want to see my team win, so it's got to be so hard to be a young Raiders fan in this, at this stage. Because even for me as a Raiders fan, I'm like, give me a shred of something to,
I'm a newer Raider fan.
Yeah, true,
I didn't grow up, I wasn't, silver and black till I die like I am now. So I'm kind of a part I younger generation. But now I understand
but
the
you watch
mystique of the Raiders.
with
But
me.
I watched all these interviews and stuff. We're going to be hearing from Al and stuff like that as well. And so I get it.
Yeah.
And so I encourage, again, those younger Raider fans, dig into this, and then you'll see why we don't need alternate uniforms,
and where
we don't
the passion
need all
comes
these
from.
other things. The passion comes from, be excited about our past and be fired up about watching old games and stuff. Don't just try to go, well, what if we get a new this or what? No,
that's not gonna fix it.
The traditions don't need to be touched.
Traditions don't need to be touched, and there is no acceptance of mediocrity. You know what I mean? The fire that burns brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. That's it. The end. Just win, baby. Like, it's about the collective and the collective winning. And now listen, I get it. And just like what Michelle had to say, and those are great points, Michelle. Like, I get it. If you only know what you know, then you don't know. Like, I get it. And so I'm hoping that this little bit of a soapbox and this little bit of a push of our history, like, maybe that'll just kindle a little bit of thought, or, you know what I mean? And not that we're the freaking keepers of Raider history over here, but like, I think it's important, because I think it's kind of like knowing your family history. It's kind of like knowing, like, where'd you come from?
Yeah.
Like, why is it that the silver and black is intimidating? Why is it that we're the villains of the NFL? Well, if you don't know those things, and you're just rooting for them because, whatever, then, I think it's important to dig in. And I do empathize. And I will say this too, is that despite my little, tirades here, I do empathize with younger Raider fans in that idea that like our good buddy, Big Raider Trucker, like I would talk to him about, like some of the things that have, that thankfully I was able to see and be old enough to remember. And he would look at me and just be like, well, when's it going to be my turn, man?
Yeah.
Like, when's it going to be my turn? Like, why, that's great that you got to see the Raiders like that, but like, now when's it going to be my turn? So I totally understand that. And I'm not saying that, like, and I don't like painting broad strokes anyways. I'm not saying like all young Raider fans don't know what the hell happened in the past. There are plenty that do. But what I am saying though, is that, and I spend a lot of time on Twitter, so that's informs a lot of my opinion on some of these things. When we get caught up in the minutia of an individual, that's not what the Raiders are about. And if you don't believe me, let's check in with the guy that literally invented the Raiders. His name is Al Davis, and he talks a little bit about team, tradition, and individual players.
In the past 35 years, you've been at every level.
This is from 1997, too, by the way.
Okay.
So let me clarify. This is 26 years ago.
Scout, a coach, a commissioner, everything. And you've been involved with the players, which makes you different than any of the other owners. Our Cameron will always say that when they go to a game, that you're the only owner, that people that comes down on the field now and will talk to the fans. You never see any other owners on the field anymore. But to get back to the players, how have the players changed, Al, in the last 35 years, from when you began with the Raiders to now? How have the players changed?
Well, actually, Steve, I'm not so sure it's the players that have changed. It's the culture that has changed, and it's the culture that has changed the players. For example, I can go into a coaches meeting and sit and talk to our coaches, and we have a lot of coaches who are about between the ages of 40 and 45. And I think back to the 60s, that's 30 years ago. And these guys were just 10 years old, and they really don't know sometimes what we're talking about relative to communication. The players have changed because the culture has changed. The culture is much more individual oriented. It's much more what you said before, perception. when in reality, people like myself who grew up believing in tradition, history, nostalgia, I don't want to give that up with the Raiders. I feel we're one of the last bastions of hope as a team image, as a team organization, that we believe in tradition, we believe in the glory, we believe in the debt we owe to our players from the past. But right now, we're going in a different approach, and the whole culture has changed. It's money, it's endorsement, and I'm not so sure it's a team game. It reminds me of the entertainment business. When we were growing up, there was Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and all the great studios. You no longer hear of those studios. You hear of the individual stars.
All right. There's a lot to unpack there.
Sure.
Michelle, I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah.
Okay, so and here's where I'm getting a little soapboxy, is that this is 26 years ago, before the advent of fantasy football, or maybe there was fantasy football. There was fantasy football back then, but it wasn't played online like it is now, and it wasn't. Our culture has continued to change even more so away from the team concept and into individual achievement. There was a mention that I saw, and I'm not going to name names because I think highly of some of these people that were engaged in some of this stuff. There was some mentions on Twitter for some pretty high-profile folks in our Raider community about the achievements of Derek Carr. And I said I wasn't going to talk about Derek Carr anymore, but, just like, what did I play earlier with, wait, hold on, where is it?
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
All right, and we're going to get to Derek in a minute specifically, but the idea is there was a celebration and of his accomplishments for his individual statistics, and there was a lament for, number one, that he's not on the team anymore, and number two, the way that he was, quote, treated.
Right.
Okay? That flies against every single thing that came out of Al Davis's mouth. And so if you're one of these people that are ride or die for individual players, that's not the fucking Raiders. Stop it with that. It's not the Raiders. If you're a Raider fan, you can like players. I liked Kenny Stabler. When he got traded to the Oilers, I rooted for the Oilers. Not above the Raiders, but I rooted for the Oilers, and I was 6. I rooted for Reggie Jackson when he became a Yankee because I was 6. Right? When you become an older fan and you can understand the idea and the concepts of what Al Davis is talking about there, root for the goddamn shield. It ain't about a player. And when that player doesn't help you win a championship or beat the Chiefs once, twice, 3 times in 9 years, I'm not even just picking on Derek. Anybody else. If it's not contributing to the immediate success of the Raiders, you're gone. Al Davis traded away Kenny Stabler. We just sat here and celebrated Kenny. Al Davis traded his ass away. He traded Phil Villapiano. He traded Jack Tatum. He traded Dave Casper. He traded away some of the greatest players that ever wore the silver and black because it was about the team. It was about the team being better. God dang it, it pisses me off so much when people get so freaking attached to a player. That's not what Raider fandom is all about. I'm sorry, guys. And if you don't look, if that flies against your fandom, fair enough. And call me 909-345-3346 and give us your opinion. Because I'm not sitting here trying to pretend that my opinion is right. But if you can't tell, I'm passionate as shit about this. And I hate to see our silver and black get beat up on by its own, God, I'm going to swear, its own fucking fans. Don't beat up on the Raiders if you're a fucking Raider fan. Come on, man. It drives me insane, Michelle.
Yeah, no, I 1,000% agree. It's sad hearing that because, one, that was 26 years ago, and we've just continued that trajectory even further into individualism. And that's when you really, for the longest time, Lamont would say to me, you can't fall in love with the player. You can like a player and you can appreciate what they're bringing to the team, but you can't. And especially now in the day and age that we're living in, a lot of players, they recognize their worth and they want what they're worth because they know that they have a short shelf life. And I understand that. I get that. So you really have to love the team or just go love football and follow your players where you want to follow them. But if you're going to rep a team and love a team, you can't shit on them in the same breath and scream, just win, baby, go Raiders. follow the player. If you love that player so much, which by the way, like they may not be where they're at for the next year or two. Like you may follow them. So just follow players. If you want to follow players, play your fantasy football. Ooh, I almost said something really rude. I'll tell you guys later.
Right on.
Oh, no, I just dropped 2 F-bombs back to back.
No, I'll tell you when we're done.
I had to let it go.
That's got me fired
but
up.
it's like if you want to love the team, you have to love the team. And you don't have to agree with all the decisions they make.
Absolutely not.
Because
Absolutely
and we've
not.
said that a million times too, but at the end of the day, you're not making the decisions. So you have to ride with that regardless of if you agree or not. But tying yourself to a player is just stupid.
Right.
I mean, I'm not calling you stupid for tying yourself to a player, but maybe I am.
There you go. Well, and Al Davis just said it right there. The culture, even back in 1997, the culture was changing.
Yeah.
So he understood that, but he held on to, we're never going to do that. Our traditions, our nostalgia, the Raiders will never do anything different. And so I feel like even like, yes, I'm sure there's been polarizing topics, polarizing players in the past, but I don't know if anything has ever been more polarizing and more like goofy like this than with Derek Carr.
Yeah,
The only other thing, and I'm not interrupting you.
Okay.
The only other thing I can remember, and Michelle, you speak to this too, the Raiders moving to L.A. the first time, and then the Raiders moving to Vegas this time.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Those were pretty split, especially the first time.
Right.
When the Raiders moved to L.A. That was, I know you're an L.A. Raider fan.
Yeah.
But in the Bay
was a
Area,
big one.
that was a very divisive topic.
Right. But as far as players go, there's never been anyone.
It wasn't like this even for Kenny.
Exactly.
Not that I can remember
And I
anyways.
know, but like the culture has changed. But like, so all these fans that are following teams but say that they're Raider fans, they lost sight of what Al wanted,
Right.
and stuff like that. And Derek Carr lost sight of what it meant to be a Raider.
Hell yes.
That son of a bitch said, all the time, oh, I'm a Raider forever. I'm a Raider forever. It's the team first. Except when you said in an interview, I'm the all-time leader in everything, and then they just let me go? Like, stats don't matter, dude.
Yeah.
And you know that. And you 2 years ago said, well, the stats don't matter. He throws his
That stat ball
Sunday
into the
night football stat ball out the, thing, whatever. Well, now you're going to, bring up the receipts on that shit? Get the hell out of here, bro. Like, you maybe...
Please.
Did you ever buy into what the Raiders were all about, or was it all bullshit? Come on, man.
Yeah, it was all bullshit till it didn't go his way. That's really
There
what
you
it
go.
was.
The culture has changed so much, and when you start buying into your own bullshit, then
that's
it's
it.
time to
Preach.
go, bro. Get out of here. Enjoy New Orleans, bro.
Preach.
Yep.
Preach. All right. And we're going to, hey, we haven't even gotten to this subject yet. We haven't even gotten.
kidding.
We're gonna get there though.
That
but
was the teaser trailer.
That's right. Yeah, that's a teaser trailer. Let's before we dig back into it.
We need a
because
we need a palate
we
cleanse.
need a palate
Yeah,
cleanser.
yeah.
So I say that in terms of the modern day leaders of the Raiders, there are a handful of guys I think that exemplify all of those things that we just got done talking about.
Yeah.
And one of those guys, and probably the epitome of it, I'd say at this point, is Max Crosby. And, anyways, you guys know plenty about Max Crosby. I think that he is just an amazing representative of what it is to be a Raider. Whether it be Las Vegas, L.A., or Oakland, this guy represents what it is to be a Raider. Here he is getting interviewed by our good friend Harry Ruiz, which we love Harry. And so Max is talking about going to events that they're having in Henderson. These are like youth football camps, and where he's arguably the highest profile player on the Raiders, certainly one of the highest paid. He doesn't have to be at these things, but he does it anyways. And so he talks about why he chooses to go there and how that's going to define his legacy.
Me encuentro aquí con Mad Max Crosby, el Cóndor, uno de los mejores jugadores que hemos visto con los Raiders en los últimos años. Max, ¿cómo estás? How does it feel being out here for this event presented by Fanatics, where you're a part of the Raider Nation, helping out the kids in the community?
Absolutely. It's just about giving back and showing love. At the end of the day, I was one of these kids, and this is what I always dreamed of, being around, being in an NFL building, being around players. So, I take it super personal. I want to be here. And obviously with the Fanatics, a great team. Michael Rubin running the show. He's a great friend, and it's just an honor, to be out here and represent them and the Raiders.
Other places you look at events like these, and they got, I don't know, the backup running back and the third string safety. Over here with the Raiders and Fanatics, you guys got the face of the franchise, one of the best players in the NFL. Why is it important for you to be out here in one of these days where it's your day off?
Yeah, you know, I basically live here, and at the end of the day, and when I say live here, live in the building. But at the end of the day, it's all about action. You know, I want to maximize my career on and off the field. I don't want to just be a guy who talks about it. Yeah, I'm a great guy, whatever, but doesn't show up for stuff like this. You know, I think, you know, AJ, our strength coach, talks about it all the time. He goes, no job is too small or too big. And it doesn't matter if you're from the janitor to the owner of the team. It doesn't mean anybody's on a different level. You know, we're all humans at the end of the day. I treat, you know, our janitor the same way I treat Mark Davis. I treat him with love and respect, and that's what it comes down to. I'm not too big for this. You know, I just want to be a part of it and show people that, you know, I don't care if you're the highest paid, whatever. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think it's about, you know, the legacy you leave, and that's what's most important to me.
Thank you, Max Crosby.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much.
Just win, baby.
Sorry about that. Jeez, I'm all over the place.
No, it's okay, man. Hey, so there's been a bunch of people that tuned in late. So if you're just joining us, welcome to another episode of Raiders Fan Radio. But we are raffling off this signed Tim Brown jersey. It's a beaut, man. It's so awesome. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So if you tuned in late, every $10 donation
a little bit
tonight,
lower, Michelle.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Every $10 donation gets you one poker chip into the running to win that guy, man. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation. We are just shy of $400. So keep it going, get in the mix, man. It's all going to a great cause, man. Get you some.
All right, that is awesome. We appreciate you all so very, very much. And, you know, and if you needed just a little bit more reinforcement, here's what. I love this Twitter follow.
Okay.
This comes to us from @NFL Maverick. The name on it is AFL Godfather. And
yes.
And it's a lot of, if you're not following him or her, whoever's running the account there, they do an amazing job running this, not only an account that honors the legacy of Al Davis, but of the Raiders. And this was posted up just about a week or so ago. And I'm going to read this to you. And it's just, of course, it's the Al shield. And I think that's going to be my next Raider tattoo.
Yeah,
just the shield with Al in the middle.
I like it.
Yeah. It's such a good logo.
Okay, we should all get that.
Yeah,
After he passed,
one.
that's the sticker they put on their helmet.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
shirt that Marcel Reese used to wear underneath his uniform. And so, anyways, so when asked about being a Maverick, this is what Al Davis had to say. Maverick is fine, because I am. Outlaw, I'm not. But if believing in what you believe and sticking up for your rights and sticking up for the rights of others from time to time, do it your way. Don't let the culture tell you what to do. That's being a Raider.
There you go.
Yeah.
So good, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I wish I had the audio bite of that to hear Al say that. And you know, and for those of you also, if you don't know, 4th of July is Al Davis's birthday. Also, our buddy B. Al in the chat, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to you, B. Al. And, you know, two great nations were born on the 4th of July. Of course, the greatest country that was ever birthed, and also the Raider Nation when Al Davis came into the world. And so, we got to talk about stupid Derek Carr.
Do we?
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Said I wasn't going to talk about this guy anymore, but he keeps starting shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He keeps inserting himself into the Raiders conversation.
Yep.
It forces us to not only consider what is going on, but it's a relevant story, and so we got to talk about it here on the show, whether I like it or not. And frankly, you know, I'm going to defer to you guys more than myself on some of these comments, but you know, if you can't hear the energy and passion in our voice tonight, because this stuff just freaking flies all over us. And as I'm sure it does a lot of you. And I think that if anything, the good, and here we are, lighter journey into the dark side. So I'm gonna look for some good in this thing. I think this might be opening some eyes. I think that for some that were like, Carr was disrespected. Carr was done wrong by the Raiders. Carr was never a problem. Carr was never the issue. He's come out now and he said, I was the issue. I didn't play great. I wasn't fully bought in, right? We've heard those comments from him. Those comments alone flew all over a lot of us.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that some eyes were open to that like, it's okay to say that this guy was part of the problem. That's not an indictment on your fandom. That's not an indictment on the what he did do great for the Raiders at the time in which he was our quarterback. That doesn't erase all of those things. But what it does is that it makes him a folly or at fault for his behavior. And that was what I was always, my question was to those folks that were so ride or die for Derek Carr. At what point do you assign ownership? Like, what does it have to take for you to finally say, like, no, he kind of sucked too. Yes, the defense sucks, but one does not absolve the other. Like, and that was always curious to me. Well, Derek gave you the answer. He told you, Raider Nation. He told you, Carr fan, I was the problem. So I hope that started to move the needle a little bit on recognizing that he wasn't this freaking be-all, end-all, okay? Then this last article comes out from CBS Sports and Sports Illustrated, and everybody had a damn coverage of this. And I'm going to give you 3 sets of quotes that came from Derek Carr. And I'm going to cover the first one, and then we're going to toss it over to Jeff for the second one. So he says this: for lack of a better term, I was upset. I was mad. You spend 9 years in a place, you have all the records, and you can play at a high level for something to get in the way, whether it was for whatever reason, money related or whatever, injury related. I would have to say that I don't even want the money, just to play 2 more games in front of our fans. I didn't get that opportunity. So it definitely lit a fire inside me to keep going. Bullshit. It's the most disingenuous thing to make a comment, oh, I would have given the money back. It's bullshit. Like, do you think we're this freaking stupid? Like, that, like, assumption that we're all so dopey and bought in for you that we're going to, first off, you said you didn't want to be anything but a Raider, but yeah, now you're a Saint, right? Like the whole idea of like, oh, I would retire if I can't be a Raider. Yeah, that was bullshit too. Like this guy talks out of like both sides of his mouth. Like, and I'm not a Derek Carr hater. I loved Derek Carr at the time in which he was our quarterback, but since his departure, he's turned out to be a freaking chump, man. And these kinds of comments that are such bullshit. Now it makes me look in retrospect to all the other, oh, this is on me, all that. How much of that was bullshit? Like, we've probably been getting bullshitted for freaking 6 years, or at least since 2016.
Right.
And so now I'm like, well, now I'm the asshole because I bought into your garbage that whole entire time. Like, these disingenuous comments, Jeff, drive me nuts. And I'll say this, and then I'm going to send over to you for the next thing.
Yeah.
This idea that, like, he doesn't understand the business. 9 years in to your NFL playing career, and you don't get it? Like, you don't understand how this shit works?
Right.
Well, I think it was the money or whatever. No, it was all the money. We couldn't risk you getting injured and guaranteeing your contract. How does that not compute? And if you wanted to be in front of the fans so goddamn bad, I don't know, come to the game. Hold a clipboard for Jarrett Stidham. Be on the sideline. Be there to wave at the fans and shake their hand on the way out. Like, you could have been there. Ain't nobody kept you out of the building.
Right.
Like, it drives me insane, Swag Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and before you read the next part of that article, I just and Paul said it in the chat, and that was one of the points that I was going to make, and it's a question that I asked. I mean, I feel like, you know, when Derek Carr, when his career was over, you know, wherever he ended up playing, if he ends up getting on a carousel and going to a bunch of different teams because he can't do it anywhere, you know, when he would come back, we would respect him. We would honor him. All that stuff. All-time passing leader, all-time this and that. Yes, you're going to give a guy his flowers. Those flowers might have died. You know what I mean? Like, you are tarnishing your post-career, like, respect that you're going to get. Because people aren't going to want to listen to the post-career bullshit either. Like,
I would have been the first one to stand up at Allegiant Stadium and applaud him on Derek Carr Day.
Yeah.
The day he retired, I'd be rocking 4. I'd be doing all this
100%.
stuff. And now I'm not I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, you're blowing it, dude.
This reminds me a lot of like what Brett Favre did when he stopped being a Packer. Remember, he kind of like started talking shit about the organization, about the fans, and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I don't even think it was to this degree.
No.
Like, this is just it's constant blame outside of the individual.
Yeah, and no accountability. Like, okay,
None.
yeah, like I know he said, yeah, it was on me, but he almost said that kind of flippantly, like he didn't really believe it when he said, yeah, that's why they let me go because it was on me, blah, blah, blah. Like that just, it's almost like he was just saying that almost. And the thing about it is, too, he doesn't, I don't even think he can. I mean, he knows we're out here, people are out there talking crap, but he's hit all the people that talk crap. So he's only hearing
he
from his
blocked me.
peanut gallery. Yeah.
And I never even said anything bad about him. I just questioned his place in the Raider legacy for a quarterback.
He's only hearing from the people he wants to hear from, and they're telling him, that he was in the right and everything. And the thing about Raiders fans is we don't forget. So we're going to remember all these little sound bites and all these little things that he's throwing out there and stuff, and we are not going to forget that. So, dude, be a saint. Play football, be the bigger person like you claim to be, and then when it's time for you to come back, let us, then we can celebrate you, clap for you. But, dude, you keep running your mouth, and it's going to not be it ain't going to be a pretty reunion.
You think he was mad when he got benched?
Right.
He's going to get mad when he comes back and expecting a standing O, and we give him a pair of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Instead of FAB, it's FDC. Because, seriously,
well, there
man,
you go.
Because for real, man, even if you're a huge fan of Derek Carr, and again, I owned Derek Carr jerseys. This is not me not being a fan of this man. I was very proud to have him be our quarterback.
We shouted him out for a long time.
So many years, looked for the goodness in his career, and when he would finally slay demons and win a game on the road, or he would do all these do things that he was accomplished in his career and accomplished for the team. He was highly celebrated around here, highly celebrated by me. I mean, I love the guy when he was our quarterback. Until he wasn't, and then and then to turn on us, and blame everything but yourself, it's just, dude, that's so. It's
well, read what he says about.
Next up, Swag Jeff, take it after I read this. Next up, if you win more games and you keep being productive, you stay there forever. Carr said, but we didn't win enough games, and that's the kind of stuff that happens with all the turnover of coaches, with all the different things. Eventually, the last guy in the room is going to be out at some point, and that's what really happened.
Like you said, how many years did we hear, it's on me? It's on me. Okay, well, so now you forgot that you said that? It's all bullshit.
Now it's the coach's fault.
Now it's the coach's fault. Now you're blaming somebody else for you not being able to get the job done. Plain and simple. It does not matter. Yes, his defenses were not great and all that stuff, and he's made mention to those things as well. There's been a billion different reasons why Derek Carr couldn't get the job done. But Derek Carr doesn't play defense. He played offense and couldn't get the job done on offense either. And now you're going to say, well, I had 6 coaches in 9 years. What? Who cares? Who cares? Now you're going to blame someone else? Own up to your shit like you did for 9 years and go, well, it's on me. It's on me. It's on me. That's a freaking broken record, man. We heard that shit for so long and we bought into it because he was our quarterback for our favorite football team. The end. But now, in retrospect, dude, he is just tarnishing everything he said. He's speaking out of both sides of his ass, and he just sounds like like you said, it's just a freaking chump, man. And I feel like a chump because I was all in on it.
Yes,
you know
that's
what
the
I mean?
part,
Come on, man. You're making me question myself, and that's freaking whack, dude. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
Yeah, I mean, him blaming everything except the celestial star. I mean, come on. Where's that accountability, as a man? Where's that accountability? I don't think I'd heard that one. Although I have unfollowed him and hid anything that has to do with Derek Carr. So that one I hadn't heard. And that is a wild that he had brought up the coaches and the money. And I mean, he sounds like a spoiled baby. Sounds like a spoiled brat. That's what he sounds like.
It feels like the guy is a much more emotionally immature than what we thought. And
I feel kind of stupid for making excuses for him crying. Because now I feel like maybe he's just a baby.
Well, speaking of crying, here's our third and final installment in this Derek Carr saga, and I hope Lord have mercy. I hope the guy keeps the Raiders out of his damn mouth going forward after this, man. Because for real, it's exhausting. Well, it's not exhausting. I'm not going to overplay it. To me, it's a tiresome topic. It's and I get, and because now I feel like we're getting to the point where it's an affront against the Raiders.
Yeah.
And listen, that stuff doesn't come off. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about the ink for those of the on the audio podcast. You look at the way we decorate our houses. You look at the gear we adorn. Like, this is as close to a personal thing outside of real life personal things like friends and family and, you know, our faith and the things that actually count in life, or not this, you know, silly sports stuff. But in terms of things that are external, this is it. Like, this is our hobby. This is our passion. This is what we do. This is what we choose to spend our disposable income on and invest our time and you know, in our friendships. Oh, there's so many things that go around this Raider fandom. And now you're talking smack about it. Like, it's just like, now you're becoming, like Jeff always says,
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
And that's where he's
Enter DC.
He's the villain.
He's tiptoeing the line.
He sure is.
He crossed. He's a villain.
I think he's crossed it for a lot of people.
Except for those few that
it has for me. It is certainly. Yeah. And if this were at one time, if it were a 50-50 split, I feel it's more like a 70-30, maybe an 80-20 at this point. And anyways, and so here's the last one. And then we're going to move on from this and talk about some real Raider stuff. We're actually talking about Raiders news and not freaking stupid former quarterback news. But here's the one that sent it over the fence. Once they made my wife cry, that was pretty much over, Carr told the Fresno Bee. Once they made her cry, that was out. But the love for my teammates is what probably would have made me do it. But the way it worked out and the timing of things, I was just, it's time for me to move on. But who knows? You never know what will happen.
Sometimes when he talks, it doesn't, like, he sounds like he's talking in like a weird circle. He never actually lands on a point. But the wife crying thing, you know, because it's like really he always has like inserts of things.
Don't cry.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, I am a very compassionate person, so I don't want to like talk crap about his wife crying, but I really want to talk to him trying to put it off on her crying. Like, that's such a bitch move. Like, and he was probably crying with her, I'm just guessing. But she knows the business too. She knows how the business works. And I don't think you can play like, oh, but we're so loyal, we're this, we're that, this is the business of it. Like, and to put it off on her, when she started crying, that was it. How about when you were losing over and over and over and over, and when the defense did actually give you the ball back, you couldn't do anything with that. Let's go back to all those games where that actually did happen. Like, don't
right between the 20s, but couldn't put it in the freaking end zone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't put this off on your wife crying, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. No, shut up. And I hope to goodness this is the last time we have to talk about this fool. I'm sick of hearing about him because he's becoming more and more unlikable. Like, I really liked that dude. Now, God.
Well, you know,
I never hear him again.
We respected him, Jeff. He's a good Christian man, dedicated father. Like, all the things like surrounding the guy, and we know his personal life, at least for what we know in his personal life.
Yeah.
Like, we respected him. But then also too, okay, so and I want your reaction on those comments, but then also this too, like from what Michelle was talking about there, using external things as an excuse. When he dropped the sound bite about, well, I wasn't my best for the Raiders last year. Because I had personal things going on too. That's like such a crutch to me. It's a cop out. Like, there is other than this is all on me. Well, what is all on you? And what did you do to deserve that it's all on you for the there is no clarification. There's nothing definitive. And I think that's what bothers us all most, is that it's a consistent dodge of blame. Now he's blamed his coaches. He's blamed the organization. He's blamed his fans. He's blamed his wife. He's blamed personal issues. Like, how many things are we going to blame? Yeah. You're going to blame.
Everything about him is good. Oh, go ahead.
No. Well, no. I mean, and that's the thing, because it started off small, right? Early, years ago in his career, well, he doesn't have weapons. Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't have this. Well, he doesn't have, stability in the locker room. Well, he doesn't have this. Well, now he had so many coaches. Well, now he had personal problems. Well, now you're going to blame your wife? Bro, like, if I'm Heather Carr, I'm kind of fired up that you said that shit. Yeah. Like, don't put that shit on me. It wasn't on me. That's on you, bro. Like, I mean, she's obviously not going to do that, but like, Were you crying before or after you got the $100 million that this organization has given you over the last 9 years?
Thank you.
You know,
Seriously.
but
Thank
at the end of the
you.
day, like, we gave you all that money, and if you couldn't perform despite all of those things that we tried to address for you, because those coaches that we brought in, they were to help you. We wanted to win. We wanted to help you win. You were our guy. And this guy couldn't get it done. So we were like, okay, well, who do we need to get Derek better? This guy. Okay, go. And we'd see
Let's go
flashes
get
of
your
greatness.
best friend who happens to be the best wide receiver in all of football.
Absolutely.
And you weren't at your best because of personal reasons? How does that make Devontae feel?
Serious.
Exactly. 100%. I came to play with you, bro. Get your shit
Pull it
together.
together.
Get your
You know
shit
what I mean?
together,
We
yeah.
had 6 head coaches, and you're blaming them? What is the common denominator, bro? It's number 4.
Yeah.
It's number 4. You're the common denominator. I mean, one of these things is not like
Like
the
the
other. You know what I
others.
mean? Like, but there's the one thing that's the constant, and it's you, that it's all on you until it's not. Like, get the F out of here, bro. That's so trash.
What's
trash.
What's the thing? What's one thing my ex-girlfriends all have in common? Me.
There
you know
go.
what I mean? Like maybe I'm an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Taylor
Like,
Swift said it best, right? It's me.
Hi,
I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, that's it. You know, like, okay, yes, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, that
It's
might
you.
that
That
should be
was
the next
epic.
TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally
Yeah.
clipping that. We're going to use that as a soundbite
That's
going
it.
forward.
That's it.
Oh my gosh, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
No more.
man.
Are we done? Are we done talking about Derek? I throw it to the dining room.
Yeah.
I throw it to the chat room. Are we all ready to finally move on? Let's see.
You did say though that you thought the tides were turning, and I'm going to tell you how we know because
Okay.
most of the chat, 100%. I mean, I won't say 100%, is saying the same things we're saying. It used to be torn in the chat about who was
That's
a Derek
true.
fan and who
We used to get
wasn't.
roasted.
We
Yep.
used to. Now everybody's like, can we just let this guy disappear?
All right, here we go. All right, so by show of hands in the chat room,
Okay.
and then also here in the dining room, are we finally freaking done talking about Derek? Show of hands.
I don't know if I can say it. I don't know if I can say it because if he says some other stupid
Well,
ass
that's
shit, I
true.
might
Well,
have to
that's
grill him
true.
again.
That's true.
I pull back my arm.
All right,
That's true.
assuming he doesn't
if
say
he
anything
keeps our name out of his mouth,
That's it.
then I'll keep his name out of my
else.
mouth.
All right,
I'll agree
fair
to
enough.
that. I'll agree to that.
Fair enough. All right, let's talk about the Raiders.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than 6th-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
So if you tuned in just now, bro, you missed a lot.
Holy
but you didn't.
cow.
But you didn't miss out on this yet. So for the One Nation Foundation, we are raffling off this signed Tim Brown jersey. So get in the mix. Every $10 donation tonight gets you one poker chip, whether it's $10 or whether it's $5 kajillion. It's all going to the One Nation Foundation, and we are over $400 for this thing
Yay,
we've
let's
raised for the
go.
foundation. So let's keep racking that thing up, man. Let's keep going. It's all for a great cause. Get in the mix.
That's awesome.
Oh, I like that clap better.
Yeah, I like that clap better too.
Yeah. I got spit all over my mic from that last segment. It's all wet. Pause.
Hey, we need to know about your
Don't
life.
Tell me about your life.
Man, all right. Hey, let's talk a little bit of business.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
all
you
right,
go.
let's talk a little bit of business. All right, we're moving on from all that silliness. Okay, it's not silliness, but anyways, all right, here we go. Let's talk a little bit of business. So, in relation to said former subject, but then also the matter of current Raider stories like Josh Jacobs, and frankly, you could kind of toss this around the room a little bit in terms of like players in the NFL that are having challenging contract situations. And there's two different ways to take it, Michelle, right? You take it like it's a personal affront, or you can take it in the case of like, well, this is a business, and this is a business that I'm in, and this is how it's going to go, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. And I mean, because in my mind, I'm like, God, that's a lot of money. You know, like, get your deal done and get out on the field. That's what my brain says. And I get that that's a very simplistic, like, way to put it, because that's a lot of money to me. You know, to them, you know, I guess they're thinking about their value and what they bring to the table. And I almost wonder if then they've made themselves bigger than the team. But I think that's the age that we're in, is that they do believe they're bigger than the team. They do believe that they're the ones. And maybe, especially speaking of Josh Jacobs, he put the team on his back last year. Yes, he did that. But we still didn't do very well. I mean, he still did great. You know what I'm saying?
We won 6 games. Yeah.
I mean,
and one of those was his walk-off in Seattle. So, I mean, like, it was,
sure.
And we're going to hear from Baldy here in a little bit, Brian Baldinger, and kind of him breaking down some of the things Josh Jacobs did last year. And none of this conversation I want to be around the idea that Josh Jacobs doesn't have a value to this football team.
Absolutely.
It's his value is massive.
Yes.
And I think that it was, although we always say you don't get contracts based on what you've done, you get them based on what you're going to do. I think he earned the opportunity for a larger contract, a longer-term contract with the Raiders. There's no disputing that. That said, there is a structure, unfortunately, around the NFL and the current second contracts for running backs, and we see challenges for most of the guys that are looking for a second, and especially even a third contract as a running back. So we have running back positions in flux all over the league. We've got Dalvin Cook. We've got Derrick Henry, who's probably the most, solidified of the group, but even he's been rumored to be traded and I think actively shopped for a portion of the offseason.
Yep.
Who else we got out there? Of course, we got Saquon Barkley. There's a lot.
Dalvin Cook got cut,
flat out cut, and so now he's looking around for a job. So it's unfortunate, but it's still the way that it is because of the way it's structured. So you can't do anything about that. All you can do is do one of two things. You can either accept it for what the business that it is, or you could take it again, as I mentioned, as this like kind of personal affront. And whether it was, I've talked about Darren Waller recently. We've talked about Derek Carr, obviously. We've talked about Josh Jacobs. This idea that these guys can be in the league for this long and not understand that it's a business is confusing to me. I used the example the other day when we were doing the rundown. And if you missed the Raider Fan Radio rundown, I'll make it brief. My point was this, is that, my mom told me never to name drop, but, Frank Sinatra told me never to name drop too. But also we've gotten to know Will Compton and Taylor Lewan a little bit.
Yep.
And when we've had conversation with those guys on and off the air, you quickly realize they have an acute awareness of their place in the league, especially Will. Even though he can be jokey about it on social media and all that kind of stuff, he knows where he's at in his career and relative to the end of his career. And frankly, that's one of the reasons that they are so heavily involved and invested in Bussin' with the Boys, is building their brand in order for them to foster a career outside of football. That's the bottom line. They have a really keen awareness around what it means to about the business of the NFL. Those guys have this heightened sense. Then you have other players like Josh Jacobs and even Derek and Darren who don't have that heightened sense of awareness. And so I'm going to play a clip for you because this is from Bussin' with the Boys. This is Taylor and Will interviewing arguably the best safety in the league, the mayor of Murfreesboro, the guy that played right down the road, former Blue Raider, Kevin Byard. And listen to what he has to say. And I know this isn't directly related to the Raiders, but I want you to listen to his comments and frame them and use them as like kind of like a scope into like the brain of an NFL athlete. And you're talking about a guy, okay, Josh Jacobs, is he the best running back in the league? I don't know. That's worth a conversation. He's certainly on the short list.
Right.
You could say the exact same thing about Kevin Byard. Is he the best safety in the league? I don't know. It's worth the conversation. Is he on the short list? Absolutely.
100%.
So let's listen to him talk about what it's like and his view on it when he was rumored to be traded this past offseason.
There are all these new news articles out about you in the beginning of the year. Do you want to talk about your situation with that at all? Like, this is kind of your place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing was like dealing with the whole situation when I was in Cabo and that thing happened in March, like the conversation between the team and my agency, it happened like a month ago. Like I kind of already knew the situation, you know what I'm saying? So when I was on the beach, literally with my wife, I'm just kind of sitting back and like, I really wasn't paying attention to my phone, but like my agent called me. He's like, hey, you been talking to the media or anything like that? I said, bro, I'm on the beach. Like, what you mean? So then I jump on social media, mentions is blowing up. It's like somebody was doing a radio show. I don't know who it was here in Nashville, was like, KB asked for a trade or
Will.
asked to be released or something like that. It probably was. He probably was the lead. Might be the source.
Yeah, the lead.
And it was just weird because I'm like, how does this come out? Because obviously I'm not talking to anybody and anything like that. So, but I don't know. I just think like with the whole situation where I just kind of felt like it was, for me personally, like silence is golden. I feel like I just had to kind of go dark for a little bit, just because the simple fact is that it's very easy to get your emotions involved. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when my agent told me, you know, obviously he had a conversation with the team and kind of reported back to me about everything, it was very easy to be emotional because I'd be lying if I didn't say I felt the way about it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be lying if I said that I didn't like, what? They asked for what? But at the same time, like you can't be emotional in business. I had to find a way to make sure that, you know, just to compartmentalize everything and just kind of keep my emotions out of it when I'm making these different decisions and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, it was, you know, it happened, you know what I mean? And I think we're in a good place right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. You know, I mean, I think that's, he gets it. You know, he gets it. And
he freaking gets it.
And, you know, I mean, and I love me some Josh Jacobs, but I think he's kind of getting in his own way about it a little bit. You know, I mean, yeah, you were the leading rusher, you know, last year. And bro, props, kudos to you, man. Respect, man. Josh McDaniels told you, hey, man, go out there and earn that bag. And he did. And he did. And so, and they gave him that thing that, you know, the franchise tag, which is more than what he was going to get paid on that 5th-year option. So, I mean, really, I mean, he already got a pay raise, you know, so, you know, and you just can't get emotional about it. The market is what it is. And, you know, you can be upset or do your thing or hold out or whatever. I mean, look at a guy like Le'Veon Bell. Oof. He's the prime example of what could happen to you if you are too stingy and gonna walk away because you didn't get that extra mil or that extra 2 or whatever. Like someone in the chat said, Lyncho says, Le'Veon Bell is boxing for $200,000 now. All that serious money that he lost. I mean, at some point, you got to remember that, like, you're going to stay in the league, yes, for the money, but also for the longevity of your career itself. You'd want to stay relevant. You want to be in the game because...
Especially for running backs.
100%, man.
The prime is such a short window.
Yeah,
why would you sacrifice a year of $10 million?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He gave such great advice there. I don't know if he said go dark or go silent. One of those two things. Like, dude, just hover low and let your agent do whatever he's got to do. But I think the more you like do weird, like cryptic things,
those cryptic social media posts,
the more
man,
you do that, then the more you become like, I don't want to say like the team looks at you like you could be a problem, but you know, I think that factors into, especially when you think about the people making the decisions, they're older generations. They're not, you know, they don't care about cryptic text.
I had
or
to
stuff
ask you
like
about
that.
it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, what? I don't get this. Like, what is he trying to do?
I think
Like,
that's what you know, and I guess that's like trying to get that like social media acceptance of y'all think I'm worth it too, right? Don't you? Like that's what I feel, that
looking
validation.
for seeking affirmation.
And I get that. Like I have young kids, but it's I think, dude, just hover low. Do your thing. He was at the beach, like, you know, that's do that. And then let your agent take care of things. I think you're making things harder on yourself when you do that.
That's absolutely a great point there, Michelle. And and you know, and look, we all want Josh Jacobs to be on the football team.
There's no doubt about it.
And I'm a capitalist at heart, and I don't begrudge anybody for trying to get their bag. I like get yours, Josh Jacobs. And I get the idea. Again, I can't say this enough. I totally understand the predicament that running backs are in this league. Like they're in an unfortunate, you know, negotiating position. It sucks for them. And I hope that when the CBA is up in 2020 or 2033 or whatever the heck it is, I hope that they'll make adjustments to account for that because it sucks for these guys. I mean, they're you know, when you're a premier player at your position, you deserve a good contract. You deserve to be a multi-year athlete. I get it. That said, let's not pretend like $10 million on the franchise tag, even after all your freaking taxes and agent fees, isn't generational wealth. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part for us as fans sitting here. It's like, okay, like, you know, we're all very blessed in our different, you know, in positions that we're in life. You know, like I'm not trying to assign anything to it, but like we're middle class, right? The three of us sitting here, we have middle class families. Like we're all kind of sitting there now. And thankful for everything that we've been gifted in terms of you know, whatever financial opportunities. That said, you hand me a check for $7 million. Guess what? My generations are changed.
Yeah.
So it's not like those things aren't still part of the equation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think
100%.
it's harder for us as fans sitting in the dining room here in the house to look at this and go, yeah, okay, you're still doing all right. You're not like, we're not talking about some dude making the vet minimum where after everything taken out, you know what I mean? You're coming out with a couple $100,000 and your earning potential is over 3 years and then you're out of the league. That's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's tougher for us to connect to
Gosh,
that.
and
Is that fair?
Yeah,
Is that fair?
absolutely. I mean, a majority of fans will never see a game in person. You know, like majority of fans, but they still plunk their money down on gear and jerseys and they rep their team hard. And so it is hard for a lot of fans, I think, to think, dude, what are you doing? It's a lot of change. Like, just take your money and run, you know, kind of, no pun. But, you know, it's like, no, but it is hard, I think. But I also understand that it is a business and you want to get everything you can because you don't know how long you're going to go.
Absolutely.
So it's hard. I get both sides.
There's no bad guy in this. That's what I feel like. There's no villain in this scenario.
And that's the thing,
yeah,
man.
that's the hard part.
That's the hard part because a lot of people, and I think with some of the cryptic things that Josh Jacobs has said, I kind of feel like some people think, well, this is a Raider problem.
Right.
Why aren't the Raiders getting this done? But it's not a Raider thing. Like, I mean, that's just the market. And unfortunately, like some of these guys are going to, you know, Josh might hold out.
Right.
You know, Saquon Barkley might hold out. You know, you got some of these guys, but I mean, nothing can really be done until that, you know, the collective bargaining agreement or whatever changes in 2030.
Right.
And what's going to happen in 2030? Josh Jacobs ain't going to be around. No. He's not going to be in his prime. Yeah. Saquon Barkley's going to be out of the league. I mean, all these people. So, like, it sucks, but, like, you're just going to have to make do. Like, you just got to decide, do you want to play ball or do you not?
Right.
Pineapple in the chat. Well, first off, let's with a monster.
Pineapple.
Pineapple drops a freaking, as Uncle Mosh would say, a Benjamin in there, and drops $100.
Yeah, let's go, Pineapple.
Thank you so much, Pineapple. And he says JJ will never make up the $10 million if he sits out the season.
Gosh.
And that's the fact.
That's true.
That's the fact. Is that, you know, like, even if there's a larger payday to be had, you can't go back and recoup those dollars you left on the table. And that's what happened to Le'Veon Bell. So Jeff brought that up earlier. You know what I mean? That you can't recover those dollars. So listen, I think ultimately it's this, and I believe it was Mo Moton or I forget who it was. I don't know. I think I've heard this in numerous places. At the end of all of this, Josh Jacobs will play on his franchise tag. And they will, at the end of this, then the Raiders will, I don't think they're going to tag him a second time. Yeah. They'll likely give him like a 2-year deal or something to that effect. And I think that all this stuff is going to work itself out and everything's going to be able, I don't see Josh Jacobs not being in a Raider uniform. You know, I don't think this is going to be, I don't even think he'll, begrudge the Raiders playing. I mean, what else is it? Because again, what else is he going to do? Right. His options are limited, and that's unfortunate because of the situation, but that's the situation that he's got. And so he's going to play out the damn thing, and then hopefully we'll get him on a 2 or 3 year deal, and we'll see the majority of Josh Jacobs' career be with the Las Vegas Raiders. And we all hope so because he's such an impactful player. And, there's no doubting his yes, we talked earlier that, yes, we only won 6 games. But man, Josh Jacobs go to Seattle as a for instance, a 34-34 tie, and he walks us off out of Seattle.
Over 300 yards all purpose. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah, he was a force.
An absolute rock star.
Yeah.
And so, so that he has such a high value for a football team, most importantly our Raiders. So let's check in with Brian Baldinger as he talks about Josh Jacobs and what he does so very, very well to earn that franchise tag and hopefully a contract soon to come.
This Josh Jacobs was unbelievable last year. I read all these things about how he saw a bunch of 7-man fronts. Safeties were deep. Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you something. When the game is on the line, winning 19-16 late in the game, it's nice to have a guy that can break out and get his teammates juiced and up off the bench. Like, pick a game. You watch him against the Chiefs right here. Like, there's Leo Chenal coming right here. All right, they got 3 linebackers on the field. Jakob Johnson puts his bucket right on him, and then he does this. Bam, just runs right through contact. Like, this was a great game at Arrowhead with the Raiders and the Chiefs. You watch them right here in Seattle. Like, this is your 8-man box right here, all right? Just watch this cut following Johnson again. Like, look at this cut. Look at that stiff arm right there on the defensive lineman and the breakaway. Like, one game after another. Like, this is 34-34 in overtime. And he does this. Whoop. Just split it and hit it.
Must be a
Game
Madden.
on. Game over. Like, they got in the playoff hunt with him. You watch this move right here. These jump cuts of his. Bam. Like Nick Bosa, see ya. And then you watch this cut right here. Like, who else can cut the way he can cut? Bam. Like, this was one of the most exciting games of the year. Like, did he just really do that on that right foot? Like, triple jump? Man, constantly just making people miss. Carrying the pile. What a year Josh Jacobs had. Was he the best player on the team? Devontae, Max, star-studded, but as good as any one of those guys.
All right, there is Brian Baldinger. So here, I've got some fun notes for you guys.
Okay,
we're gonna skip over a couple of sound bites. We're gonna use those next week. But because I wanna jump into some talking points.
Okay,
about the significance of Josh Jacobs and about how good this guy is. Okay, most scrimmage yards, so not rushing yards, but scrimmage yards before turning 25. This is the history of the NFL.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs is 6th on the list.
Really?
Wow.
The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, he's 7th.
Okay.
There are 6 players ahead of them. All of them are Hall of Famers.
Oh.
You guys want to try to
Wow.
guess? Remember, this is scrimmage yards, so it's not just rushing. So we're not talking about like Jim Brown, right? So scrimmage yards. So somebody that will catch passes as well. You want to take a shot at any of them? I'll give you a little bit of a hint. All of them are within the past 20-ish years.
Okay. Emmett
Smith is number 2 on the list. Emmett Smith gained 6,934 yards before he was 25. Josh Jacobs has gained 5,892. So he's just over 1,000 behind Emmett Smith, who is the all-time rushing leader, by the way, and in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, you got one?
I don't.
Barry Sanders.
There you go, number 1 on the list.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. So 6,968 yards. Again, same thing. A little over, well, right at, no, not quite 1,000 yards over Josh Jacobs. Barry Sanders, number 1 on the list. So you've got 4 more on there.
Okay. Marshall Faulk.
Dude, you're freaking killing this. Marshall Faulk is number 6 on the list. 5,800 yards. Because again, remember, he was a pass catcher.
Oh, yeah.
He was a pass catcher. So 5,800 yards, just
Exactly.
ahead of Josh Jacobs and in the Hall of Fame. 3 more.
Okay. I want to say Marcus Allen.
No, I wish it were true.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, but not
wish it
before
were true.
25.
Before 25.
That's the thing. Is remember, we're going before 25.
Oh, man.
Ron the Materator says Sproles.
Is that on the list?
No, but that's
no,
a
because
great
he's not
guess.
a Hall of Famer.
But he did get Falk in there. Barry Sanders, I saw, was guest in there by Grumpy Raider fan. That's absolutely correct.
Okay.
There's one massive name on here.
We're missing.
There's one huge one. Yeah, when you think all-time greats in terms of running backs.
Okay.
There's one we hate, and then there's
there's one we hate.
Oh, can't stand him.
Oh, it's LaDainian Tomlinson.
100%. Yeah. So he gained 6,145 yards. Oh, Lencho got it.
There you go.
Lencho got it. Yep. 6,145 yards before he was 25. Foxy Scorpio guesses Adrian Peterson. No, because Adrian Peterson was mostly a runner. So he didn't have the scrimmage yards that these other guys. So we got 2 more. One is a GOAT, and then the other one was really effective for the team in which he played, which was semi-recent history.
Okay. Well, just tell us.
All right. So the semi-recent history, number 3rd on the list, Edgerrin James.
Oh, okay.
6,640 yards. And are you sure you don't want to take a shot at the GOAT?
God, I can't believe
The
it.
GOAT running back?
Oh, like probably the 2nd greatest running back of all time. Only behind Jim Brown. Come on, y'all. Sweetness. Walter Payton.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Walter Payton, 6,427 yards before he was 25 is number 4 on the list. But this list,
Wow.
this is the company Josh
That is some
Jacobs is in.
company, yeah.
Hey, Trinidad got it. Peyton, absolutely. Let's see. Emmett Smith, Ty Davis guest. Yes, we already got Emmett. He was 2nd on the list. So Barry, Emmett, Edgerrin, Walter Payton, LaDainian Tomlinson, Marshall Faulk, all in the Hall of Fame. Josh Jacobs is right there behind him. And that's also, considering this, he had a couple of kind of down years.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's
he had a couple of years of injuries. You know,
that's incredible.
That's bananas. Like I mean, we could be witnessing one of the greatest running backs in Raider history.
Yeah.
That's kind of another reason as a fan I want to see him stick
he's
around,
fun
man.
to watch. Yeah, like
yeah, absolutely. All right, so I got one more fun list for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Highest graded Raiders in the PFF era. So that's Pro Football Focus,
Right.
which we're not huge fans of, but it's a fun discussion point here. Since 2006, okay, so we can all remember the NFL from 2006. So we're not going back in the Wayback Machine.
Right.
We're not talking about Walter Payton anymore, or even Barry Sanders or any of that stuff.
Okay.
Highest graded Raiders since 2006. Josh Jacobs is number 2.
Wow.
No shit.
No shit at 93.1.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, granted, this goes to any position.
Okay.
Okay, because it's just highest grade as a player. So you think about who were the best Raiders since 06. Who else is on this list?
You
Who's your
guess,
favorite
'cause-
player of
well,
all time,
Charles
Michelle?
Woodson,
Yes,
okay,
absolutely. There you go.
Okay. I was
So
gonna say,
Charles
but I
Woodson-
always guess him because I just wanted
Right.
to be on every list. So
well-
I didn't want to look partial.
So he came back to the Raiders, right? And he played
Yeah.
safety, and he was an 85.5 overall in terms of PFF grade.
Okay.
So just think
okay,
about great
okay.
Raiders
Yeah.
since
Yeah,
06,
yeah.
regardless of position. Who are standouts?
Okay. Max Crosby.
Max Crosby, 100% is the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one on the list.
Okay.
He was 89.1. And keep them, chat room, I see you in there with your comments. Keep them coming because this is fun. So Max Crosby is 5th. Charles Woodson is 6th. Who are some other standouts for us?
Well, I mean, and I don't know, like time that they're there didn't matter, right? Like
No, just overall grade.
I feel stupid guessing. Khalil Mack. Would he
Number
be?
1 on the
Okay.
list.
Oh.
Don't feel
Oh,
stupid
well,
about
there you
that at
go.
all.
Yeah.
No, he's number 1 on the list with a 93.2. Hell,
There
no,
you
that's
go.
not stupid.
Okay. Oh,
No,
sad.
he was arguably the best
Yeah,
player at his
yeah.
position that we've had. Well,
Yeah.
clearly according to PFF, but even to these fan eyes
Yeah.
that we've had since 06, he was dominant.
Ah, man.
Yeah. Who else
Okay.
we got? Who else?
Sad.
I'm trying. So it can be any position.
Any position.
Okay.
So we got Khalil off the board. We got Khalil, Josh Jacobs, Max Crosby, Charles Woodson.
Okay. Okay. And how long is this list? 10?
Since 2006.
No. How many players?
1,
10
2, 3,
players?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 of them.
Okay. Is there any wide receivers on this list?
Damn right there is.
Okay.
Maybe not the one you think, but there's one on there.
Not the okay.
I'm gonna give him props. Elite Med Staffing says Namdi. Boom.
Oh,
nice job.
Okay, solid.
yeah.
Namdi is number 3 on the list with a 90.8. Paul Edgerton. Let's see. Paul and
Rodney Hudson, he said.
let's give some props here to the chat room. Is killing
Yeah.
it. Let's see. Ty Davis said Crabtree. Corey Fleck and Paul Edgerton said Rodney Hudson.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you got it.
Is Crabtree on that list?
Crabtree
I
is
was
the
gonna say, 'cause
bottom. He's number
Crabtree
11. Who
was-
got Crabtree?
Yeah, I liked
Okay.
him
Yep.
too.
That was Ty Davis.
Ty Davis,
Trinidad
good
said
job.
Coop.
And Ty Davis also nailed Derek Carr. Is on the
Is
list.
he on that list?
We're
Hell
trying
yeah,
to-
he is at 82.8.
I was trying to
Must
swerve.
have been 2016.
The hell yeah, it was. We had a great year, man.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
great
Had a great year. Okay,
Damn,
we've
it
got
was a great
2 names left. Now, you guys are going to have to dig on this one. The chat
Okay.
room, you're going to have to get the. Oh, shit. Good for you, Hooligan Nation. Zach frickin' Miller.
Really?
Okay.
Number 10 with an
Golly.
81.3. Zach Miller was
Wow.
a dog.
Yeah.
Zach Miller was awesome. There's 1 name left on the list.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. He was, no, actually, we got 2. We got
Okay.
another tight end, got 1 more tight end, and then you've got an offensive tackle. That was freaking dope. Way to hit
Yeah,
Zach Miller
no
on there.
kidding.
I love Zach Miller, man. That guy was so freaking good. All right, give me an offensive tackle, and then one. Come on, here we go. Be a prisoner of recency and give me a tight end.
Prisoner of recency.
Darren Waller?
There you
I
go.
know,
Boom.
yeah,
there you
Darren
go. You got
Waller.
Darren Waller.
Prisoner of recency.
Darren Waller with an 85.2.
Okay.
And you've
And
got
then recent offensive.
Corey Fleck got it again, and so did Elite Med Staffing.
Oh, okay.
Donald freaking
Donald
Penn.
Penn.
There you go.
Nice
I
job.
forgot. How did I forget about Donald Penn?
Well
Dude,
done.
yeah.
We all wish his stat would have just been a little bit higher,
Just-
Donald Penn in 2016.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It wasn't him. It was freaking Austin Howard.
Oh, was it him? Oh, I thought it was Donald Penn.
When you look at, and somebody, oh my gosh, this is great. You guys freaking crushed it, chat room.
Yeah, they did.
Somebody fact check me on this, but when you look back at 2016, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out an arbitrary number. Let's say the Raiders gave up 10 sacks that year. 8 of them were from Austin Howard. 1 was from Donald Penn. It might have even been 9-1.
Well,
it might have even been,
but the one
was the one that broke his leg. Yeah, well, that's true. That's fair point, Joe.
Yeah.
Stupid,
more points for
stupid
that.
Trent Cole. Yeah. Quit hating Tom Brady and hate Trent Cole instead.
There you go.
Seriously.
There you go.
All right, let's go see a fans.
Yeah, let's do that.
Good job, chat room. That was badass.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
Paul says, where was Chris Warren? Preseason?
Chris Warren Jr. the third. Hey, so if you tuned in late, we're gonna get Michelle to flash that up one more time.
Oh,
so we're still raffling off this signed Tim Brown jersey, all for the One Nation Foundation. So every $10 super chat, no matter if it's 10 or whether it's $47 billion, you can get in the mix with every bit of that. Who knows what we'll do for that $47 billion? We'll do anything.
Listen, there's a long list of things we do for $47 billion.
Hey, we'll do. Yeah. But yeah.
We are back!
Oh.
We are back!
And we're the 3 best friends that anybody could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. We're the 3 best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever
leave each other. That's my favorite soundbite you've ever played on this show. That's incredible. But yeah, hey, get in the mix.
But anyway, yes.
Yeah, but hey, all that being said, get in the mix for this bad boy right here, and because hey, we're over $500.
Oh,
we're over
that's
$500,
awesome.
man. So yeah, so much respect. Yeah, get in the mix.
Well,
It's all
Lejo
for the
says
One
I will
Nation.
torque for 365 days straight.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, for
Yeah,
sure. Get in the mix.
Me too, Lencho.
Yeah,
I'm with
same.
you. I'm with you. All right, so we you can contact this show a multitude of ways. You can email us, or actually, first and foremost, shout out the damn chat room who's killing it tonight.
Oh my gosh!
Join us at youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio.
Yep.
Jump in the chat, and they have been badass tonight.
They've been really good tonight. Yeah, Tony Shefford, Lencho, Grumpy Raider fan, Ty Davis, Elite Med Staffing, Hooligan Nation, Paul, Ron, Trinidad, Corey Fleck, Pineapple. Let's see who else we got up here. Hooligan Nation, YO Raider. Let's see. Joe AXT, Paul. I mean, Foxy Scorpio. The list goes on and on. Raider Way. Let's see here. Lenshow. Yeah, I mean the whole crew
That's
here.
awesome,
And
man.
I mean Raider J. Raider Gears and Threads.
Oh, Jay,
yeah,
he's the best, man.
dude.
Hey, we're gonna see Jay in August at the preseason game for the Raider
I'm telling
God
you,
event.
man. Jay, Raider J is like the ultimate Raider fan.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever
You know
heard of
what?
anyone
Brag
else.
on him.
The guy is
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like, I couldn't be more jealous as a fan of
kidding.
all the shit that Jay gets to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's at the Bolitnikoff thing every year. We just see he'll post pictures like, oh yeah, just hanging out with Marcus Allen or whatever. Like, where the hell are you? Like, you know what I
Dude,
mean?
or he showed up at the content creators flag football game.
Yes.
In the freaking full on costume and all that
Yes.
stuff. Like, Jay's awesome, man.
Jay's awesome.
He's
He
awesome. Right on.
is. He really is.
And Aaron Jones is in the chat. Says new listener here.
Hey, thank you
welcome,
for joining
Aaron
us.
Jones.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Aaron.
much,
Good
man.
to see you.
Just hang in there.
Yeah.
We talk Raider shit, but we also talk a bunch of other funny stuff too.
Absolutely.
So, hey, man,
Lighter side journey into the
You'll
dark
laugh.
side.
there you go.
For sure.
Much
And
respect.
Lencho drops $10 in there.
There you go. Thank you, Lencho.
Thank you so much. Jimmy Z-Box says we'll be at the Bolitnikoff Crab Fest this year. Or he calls it the Carb Fest. It's that too.
It is.
But yeah, we appreciate you, Jimmy Z-Box, and congratulations on getting the artwork gig. And as I mentioned, you can contact this show a multitude of ways. YouTube.com/RaidersFanRadio and join us in the chat room. You can also call the show.
Yes.
At 909-345-3346. Hold on, get my sultry
Just
voice
him
on.
first.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's 909-345-3346.
Nice.
Yeah, damn right it is.
Nice.
Hell
Damn.
yeah, don't you forget that.
Damn. I definitely won't.
Fucking recognize, bro. Oops, shit. Darn it. That's 3 F-bombs. I've never dropped 3 F-bombs in the show.
And man, holy cow, that's awesome.
Channeling his inner Michelle.
I know, right? I know, right? Yeah.
We all got a little Michelle in us.
You do.
Absolutely. Well, Michelle, you haven't dropped an F-bomb in a while, so I'm just trying to
You
make
were
it up.
just-
I'm just
yeah.
making up for it. So anyways, and then also the last way you can contact us is by emailing the show. And Michelle's going to read these emails tonight. And you can email us at any time at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. That is SHOW.
As in wife cry.
As in wife cry,
Wife
as
crying.
in wife claw, as in white claw, and that's right, SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com.
There
and
you
if
go.
you email us an indefinite amount of times, you could become a made man or a made woman, or if you leave a message and we play it 3 times, you could become a made man or a made woman, or if you just want to get made and become a member, like our 20th member, that is a vibrator in the chat.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, baby. Hey, thanks for becoming
That's why
a
you
member.
went low sultry.
What?
That's why you went
Yeah.
sultry.
Oh,
'cause you
well,
felt
damn
that.
right.
coming.
Well, you did that,
You did
and then
that
she
to
became a
her.
member.
She became a member immediately.
Holy cow, we're gonna have to get out of here quick,
I
Michelle.
know, right?
I know.
Show's going to take a
Better
different
read these
direction here in a
fast.
second. Yeah. I got to go. Y'all got this shit from here out?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh my
All
god.
right. All right, Michelle, who do we have for emails
All
tonight?
right, we've got Hooligan Nation is first. Good evening, RFR crew, Murf, Swag Jeff, and the OG F-bomb Michelle, or tonight, Murf. Proud made men
Hey,
and
no
women
kidding.
and the rest of Raider Nation. Hooligan Nation here once again. Have you ever been at work with only 15 minutes left before you get to go home, but the clock just won't tick forward? Anyone else feel like that, waiting for Raider football? I'm getting so damn antsy waiting for the first coin toss. I even watched USFL the other night. Wow. Good for you, Hooligan.
Wow, right on.
Yeah.
It's almost as good as stickball.
I rewatched each of our winning Super Bowls, every football life with a Raider connection, Al Davis versus the NFL, and on and on and on. Bottom line is I'm running out of internet and greatly appreciate your show as a few hours of distraction from lack of Raider football. Swag Jeff, hope you're feeling better soon and getting a bit more control with your one hand. You're going to want to do the wave at the preseason game. It's going to look goofy one-handed.
Well, yeah.
Until next time, stay positive and remember the 3 most important Raiders rules. Number 1, cheating is encouraged. Number 2, see rule number 1. And number 3, just win, baby. Yeah, nice. Great. I feel you on that, Hooligan. I can't wait for football season to start. All right. We have Paul next.
Nice.
Evening, everybody. I hope you are all well. It's painfully quiet right now, aside from the Josh Jacobs or Marcus Peters stories. There's very little happening anywhere. This led me to reading all sorts of general NFL stuff, and I came across an article suggesting the powers that be could be ready for another expansion. It even suggested that the league could be 40 teams strong by 2030, which seems logistically flawed to me. Cities that were mentioned specifically were Austin, Chicago, Columbus, Oklahoma, Portland, San Antonio, St. Louis, Salt Lake City, Hartford, London, and Munich. Whether this happens, time will tell. Personally, I don't like the idea of teams in Europe on a permanent basis. Money will make the final decision, I guess. So with this being a possibility, I got to thinking, is it time for the league bosses to reconfigure the NFL divisions? I've wondered for a while they are still some geographical anomalies. For example, why do the Cowboys continue to play in the East, but the Texans play in the South? Why do the Broncos and Chiefs still play in the West, when surely a North or South division would be more suitable? And why have the Colts in the South and the Dolphins in the East? A template I saw from a writer of the piece put us in the NFC West with the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams. So with an expansion likely, wouldn't that be a good time to freshen up the league division structure, or is there something I'm missing? I was also delving into the RFR archive and picked up on a fun segment Murf and Uncle Mosh did on an RFR Trippin' episode called This or That, where 2 names were given and you had to choose one of them and give your reasons why. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Not necessarily. I've picked out a few questions myself that you may be interested in. Remember, you can only pick one.
Oh, I love
Okay,
this. So
so
this is where you can't go, oh, I like them both.
No,
Nope. You got to
nope.
pick one or the other.
So Charles Woodson or Willie Brown?
Willie Brown.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson. Lane Kiffin or Dennis Allen?
Lane Kiffin. Give me Lance all day long.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Cliff Branch or Tim Brown? Oh,
Cliffy.
Cliffy.
I would pick Tim Brown.
Well, you'd pick wrong, but that's okay.
Well,
you do what you do.
Well, don't shit on Tim Brown. We're
Yeah,
giving away the
Tim, we're
jersey.
giving away his jersey. Yeah, that's why I did it.
And I'm playing the joke. Obviously.
Marcus Allen or Bo Jackson?
Marcus.
Yeah. Jamarcus Russell or Antonio Brown? Why would
That's
you
the
do
hardest
this?
one yet.
Why would you do that to us, Paul?
Oh shit. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Jabustis.
I would too.
Only
I'm
because
going
he was
Jamarcus, too.
actually a Raider.
He was a Raider.
Yeah.
Where
yeah.
Antonio Brown
Was
never
a
played it
clown.
down.
Yeah.
Well, and that too. Yeah.
Okay. Some non-Raiders ones.
Okay.
Oh.
Will Compton or Taylor Lewan?
Oh, Will.
Yeah.
Because he was a Raider.
Uh-oh. This one's going to be tough for you.
Okay.
John Elway or Phillip Rivers?
Oh, shit. That's a Sophie's choice right there.
God, that's a tough one for me.
I got to go. You know what?
I got to go Phillip.
I got to go Phillip too.
I'm going to go John. Because,
Are you?
Why?
Because he won Super Bowls.
Oh, well, that's why
Phillip
I hate
never
him.
won shit.
Well, that's why I
pick
would pick him.
Phillip,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. Okay.
That's why I would pick him. Yeah.
And keep the chat room's got him coming in too.
Oh,
Keep
good.
it. Yeah, we
Okay,
want to
good.
know yours.
Yeah, I want to see those.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah. Okay, Walt Coleman or Gene Steratore?
Ooh. Well, Gene, because Walt cost us a Super Bowl.
Yeah. This one is like having 2 bullets in a gun and wondering who you'd shoot first. Personally, I'd shoot Walt Coleman twice.
Oh,
Well,
damn.
Yeah.
And you know what?
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong. Some non-football ones. Oh, no. Goodfellas or The Godfather?
Oh, damn it. Well, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Yeah, I think you
it's
have to
just
go that.
But,
Yeah.
oh, God, Godfather's so good.
It is so good. Alien or Predator?
Alien.
Yeah, I don't care
yeah, I
about
think
either one of
Alien,
those. Raging Bull or Rocky?
Rocky.
Rocky, yeah. Ooh, Lennon or McCartney?
McCartney.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
I'd go Michael Jackson.
Oh,
I'm Prince.
that's hard. I mean, I know
That's a
Paul's
tough
answer.
You know,
one.
can I give you mine? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Prince was one of the best guitar players of all
Yeah,
time.
no, he was a.
And not to diminish Michael's musical talent,
Yeah.
but Prince was a freaking
He
musician
was.
more than just a performer.
Yeah.
As an adult, I think I would have to go Prince, but for my whole life, I gotta go Mike. I gotta go Michael.
I really
Okay,
do.
well,
I
here
gotta
we
go
go.
Michael.
Let's keep it football themed.
Okay.
Prince had the all-time best halftime show
Oh,
bar
yeah, he
none.
did. Yeah, he
Michael's
did.
was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain.
In the rain.
Come
yeah.
on,
God,
It doesn't
yeah.
get any better than that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I hate preseason because these are the
Oh, I
things.
thought there was
we-
more.
No,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
it.
Paul, send us another.
Send us more. We
right
want to
now.
do this again.
Right
we
now.
have to do
Yeah,
this
right
again.
now, yeah.
In the chat, do it right now. I hate preseason because these are the things we end up doing while we're waiting for football. But we're nearly in July now, so not so long to go. Stay strong, everybody. Have a great July 4th and Al Davis' 94th birthday. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Pauly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler scorekeeper. Proud made man. Five time times two. Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Nice.
Thank you, Paul.
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 Paul, your name Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are. And thank you, Paul. That was amazing. That was a funny one. I like
That
these
was so
interactive
cool.
emails,
Me
man.
too.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did that one last week for the rundown too, man. Keep that coming, dude.
Keep that coming. And for those of you that are emailing, and Hooligan Nation, great email tonight as well. And because like we say about this show, man, this thing is designed to be interactive. And so, and what are your opinions? Like, Paul, what are your answers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
Like,
didn't give his answers.
didn't give
he
his
needs
answer.
to give those answers.
yeah, so I loved it, but that was fun. That was fun. All right, so as we mentioned, the other way you can get a hold of us here at Raiders Fan Radio is to call the show at 909-345-3346, and we've got 2 voicemails to get to tonight. Let's check in first and foremost with our buddy down in Vegas. He is the proprietor of Raider Dad. Much respect to Josh Camonite. Let me just brag on him for half a second.
Yeah.
What a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
What an
no
amazing
golden.
idea
Yeah.
in terms of a charity and a foundation to connect kids with their parental figures in their life through sports, through the Raiders. Man, what a beautiful idea.
Yes.
Not only do I think, first and foremost for the kids, because that's what it's all about. But, you know, right now there's a lot of conversation amongst Raider Nation about the idea of how other teams' fans populate Allegiant Stadium at a disproportionate amount than what we're used to. What better way to counter that than to raise them right, raise them Raiders, get them the little guys and little folks started early on in their Raider fandom. You know, I know it's completely separate thing, but like when I bring up Swag Jeff as an example of this, you moved to Nashville, moved to Middle Tennessee in 1998, correct?
Yep, correct.
And who else moved to Middle Tennessee in 1998?
You.
Well, not me, but who else?
The Nashville Predators.
And is there a bigger Nashville Predators fan in the world than you?
Probably not.
Probably not, because you literally grew up with the freaking Nashville Predators.
Yes.
That's the way that I feel about the Raiders. That's the way you, Michelle, feel about the Raiders. And so if you want to build a fan base in Las Vegas, you build it through the youth. And so that's what Raider Dad is doing. But more importantly than just making fans, he's making connections with family members, and that's what's so touching to us. So thank you, Josh. Can't wait to see you next week or next month, and to see the Raider Dad event. Well, not next month. It's really technically 2 months away.
Yeah,
but anyway,
a month and a half.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see this thing firsthand, we can't wait. And much respect.
And he's like rolled out the red carpet for us too. Like, I mean,
cool.
like he has been so beyond gracious and like giving us respect for the donation that we made to them. Like, I mean, they've got us plastered all over their shirts. They've got this photo area that's got pictures of.
We're in like the freaking like a red carpet picture thing. Is One Nation Foundation.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, I mean, and he hits me up on Twitter like every day, man. Like this guy's like such a good dude, man. We're honored to be a part of what you got going on.
Absolutely. Congratulations on all the early good work, and you'll hear him talk about it in his call. They've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Josh from Vegas Raider Dad. I wanted to pop in here real quick. Special thank you to the One Nation Foundation, Murf, Jeff, Michelle, Raiders Fan Radio, everyone out here that's been talking about Raider Dad. We're really excited to have some of you come join us. Continue to spread the word for us. After this event, we are going to be able to say that we have created 100 new experiences in 1 year. Our 1 year anniversary is shortly after the preseason event. It's truly remarkable the support. Everyone that's came together to help create new Raiders fans. If you're going to be at the game, please stop by H-Lot. We'll be there creating new Raiders fans. Hope to see a lot of you guys there.
All right, there he is, Josh at Raider
Much
Dad.
respect. Much respect, dude.
Big time, yeah.
All right, well done, my friend. And so speaking of Raider Dads, we've got the guy that not only he brings the hammer down and parents the freaking chat room.
Well, yeah.
Should anybody get loose, but we know he's a Raider dad. He's a great dad, and we're talking about our good friend Ron the Mater Raider, and he called in and left us a message this week.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Ron. Just want to throw some probably unpopular off-season opinions out here. So
Love it. Do
we'll
it.
see how my opinions match up with Twitter. I don't know. I'm not worried in the slightest about Jacobs. I think that's going to work itself out one way or the other. And something I've been thinking about a lot, I'm not really worried about Garoppolo this season, even if he does get injured, because something I think we would all do better to do is to listen. And when you listen to Ziegler talk, he's saying it's going to take more than 1 year to build the team that they want.
Said like a dad.
Yeah, right.
Some just slipping that in there. Something we could all do better is listen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So he's telling us this team isn't ready to compete in our division. We have a super hard division. They know that, and they believe in their system. So I believe that I got to get behind that, or, I at least got to appreciate what they're doing. So I think a Garoppolo injury in the back of their mind is a fail-safe, because a Garoppolo injury is a better draft pick. And I know they don't want to think about that, and they definitely aren't tanking, but I can see in the back of their mind saying, hey, Garoppolo plays. We got a good, we've got a good team, put a nice year together. We can build off of that. Hey, Garoppolo gets injured. Maybe we get a better draft pick, and maybe we build the team a little sooner than we thought. But
wow, what a point!
I'm kind of going into this year with lower expectations because I'm trying to listen to what the GM has been saying, which is, I'm not sure that the team's ready to compete right now on the highest stage. So hopefully we see some improvements, and I'm just trying to be cool with going into another season of building, which is tough, but that's what they're telling us. So that's what I'm gonna expect this year. So have a good one, guys. Bye.
Wow. Respect.
Dang, man. I almost don't know what to do with that. Like, there's a part of me that says there's no acceptable, there's no reason to accept failure. That as a GM, as a coach, as an organization, there's not a calculated position of, well, if we suck, we suck.
Yeah.
That feels like a tank. And I know you said they don't think they're actively tanking, and I agree with you. But it's an interesting dichotomy to think about, because I think this coaching staff and this front office has got another year no matter what. I don't think there's any scenario where they get canned after year 2. So I think it's fair. I mean, you guys give me your thoughts in chat room, because like Paul Edgerton just says, you just made me think a little bit, Ron. And that's where that's a very, very good voicemail, when it's like you make us, like, you kindle a part of our brain that, at least I hadn't thought about that yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, it's, they're not worrying, they're trusting the process, and whatever happens, happens. And yes, the goal is Super Bowl, and it needs to be every single year. But they're just, they got their guys, they trust their people, and they believe in that quarterback room. You hear, and we didn't get to play the clip that with Josh McDaniels and Rich Gannon.
We'll get that next week.
We'll get that next week. But he kind of talked about, like, Gannon brought up, like, this quarterback room looks a lot different. What are your thoughts on that? And and he talked about bringing in people that he's comfortable with, that knows the scheme, that buys in, all that stuff. And he said he feels very confident in the quarterback room. So So whatever happens, happens, and and that's why they put that addendum into that contract as well.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, so so they're cool with it, but and but that is an interesting point of I mean, they're not going to actively tank, but it's a part of a rebuild.
Yeah, and that's the word that hurts. It's like
It does
it's a sobering thought, but I mean, there's such a tangled. Like when you move your TV and you have all those wires back there, and you got to tangle them, and it takes time to do that. Like, or Christmas lights, it just doesn't happen in in 30 minutes. You got a few effing hours. Maybe even days if you're me, and you just threw them in the bin when you were done last year. But it's like, yeah, it's just, I hate that, but it's also true. But man, it's almost like genius, but stupid at the same time.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I think.
I think.
No, but that was good.
I was hanging by a shred. Now I don't even know what I'm.
Very
thread?
thought-provoking.
Yeah, it
though.
is
Yeah,
very
good.
thought-provoking.
That was good.
Yeah, that was.
good.
Yeah.
All right, Swag Jeff, what do we got here? So for those of you that are new to the show, we award a Sizzler Award to the best email or phone caller of the night, and that responsibility goes over to Jeff. And so, Jeff, who do we got?
Absolutely, man. So we started off with a couple of great emails, Hooligan Nation and Paul, and then we heard from Josh from Raider Dad. Just an amazing call. So honored to be a part of what you got going on. And Ron, just talking polarizing topics, man, and just said, everybody, just listen, be cool. It's all that good stuff. It's good for us to just listen from time to time. So I'm going to do something that might throw us off.
Oh, well, throw us off. Go for
it. Because we're going to have to change what we do.
What?
Tonight's Sizzler Award goes to Paul.
Oh!
Hey.
Wow, that does throw it off.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
So we're going to have to change the way we do things.
Yeah, we are.
Five time, times 2 plus 1.
To errant Jedi Knights.
There you go.
Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul, your email was thought-provoking, and
So was Ron.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff there from you guys. And we appreciate that. And keep them coming.
100%.
This time of year, the sea of fans, gets a little thin.
Little puddly of fans. Little puddle of fans.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I know there's not a ton going on, but, give us your off-season thoughts. Heck, tell us what your thoughts are about any of the things we've talked about tonight. Certainly have let the emotion fly tonight, let the opinions flow tonight.
Bro, yeah.
So, if you've got any opinions, any thoughts on any of that kind of stuff, please send them our way, and we appreciate you. And, again, this show at its best is conversational and interactive, and so that's why we love our chat room so much. And even though I can't keep up with the chat room as well during the course of the show, I always go back and read everything, and you guys are freaking awesome. And so keep those thoughts coming, keep those opinions coming. Hit the voicemail, show at RaidersFanRadio.com. Hit the voicemail, 909-345-6346.
Ooh, so fast.
That's pretty cool. I'm like the old FedEx guy. Thanks, Michelle, for getting that one. Jeffrey, too young. But anyways, all right. But enough of our frivolity. Let's give away that gorgeous Timmy Brown jersey. And
absolutely.
One more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's show it up there. There it is. Michelle's throwing it up there. If you want to get any last-minute entries in, it's every $10 get you a poker chip. And we're going to do a drawing now.
If you do a last-second thing, you will be.
It would have to be like the last,
right now.
Right now. You better be typing right now.
Absolutely.
There you
so,
go.
Swag Jeff, where are we at? Do we want to shout out what we did tonight, or before we pull it?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, let's just shout out the people that have already donated.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. So in no particular order. David Love, Big Shane, Billy Bats Raider, Kill Jadis, Wyoming Raider, Ty Davis, Raider Truth Chicken, Stacy Ruff, Trinidad, Hooligan Nation, Pineapple, Omar, Chef B, Jason Hunter, Tider Raider, Raider Loco, Lencho, and Yoshi. Much respect to each and every one of you guys, and respect to Vibrator as well for becoming a member tonight.
Right.
So much respect to you as well. I don't see any donations come in, so we'll just go ahead and close it off.
Let's go for it. Let's go.
We're just gonna do it, man. So tonight, and I'm just gonna shout them out right here. So with a $10 donation, Scotland's own David Love. Let's see here.
Scooch over a little bit more, Michelle. Let's get that in the shot.
And
there.
Aaron Jones.
Oh, Aaron just did it.
Jones last minute, and
thank you,
we'll
Aaron.
count it. We'll count
Heck
it.
yeah.
We'll count it for sure. So
thank you, Aaron Jones.
Yeah. So a $10 donation. Hold on. I gotta make your chip, Aaron.
Make his darn chip. And in the meantime, while Swag Jeff is doing that, if you want to follow us on any socials, just search for @RaidersFanRadio.
Yep.
We've been doing the TikToks here lately, and we've been
taking and talking.
We got a doozy coming for you on the TikTok. So check us out on the TikToks, but also Instagram, Facebook, the Twitters, everywhere you can find any social media, you can find us at Raiders Fan Radio.
Absolutely. So Billy Bats Raider, $10 donation.
Thank you, Billy Bats Raider.
Yep. Let's see. Kill Jadis, $10 donation.
Thank you, Kill Jadis.
Wyoming Raider, $20 donation.
Thank you.
Ty Davis, $20 donation.
A little bit more, Michelle. Come on. The other way,
Raider
you can see the back. There we go.
Raider Truth Chicken,
Love that man.
$10 donation.
So good.
Trinidad, $20 donation.
Thank you, Trin. Thank you for the picture, too, Trin.
Absolutely. Hooligan Nation, $40 donation.
Hey, Hooligan.
Omar, $10 donation.
Let's go, Omar. Thank you.
Chef B, $20 donation.
Chef B. Thank you, Chef B.
Tider Raider, $10 donation.
Hey, Ty.
Yeah.
When are you going to move to Nashville?
Tennessee. Raider Loco, $20 donation.
Hey, Loco, thank you so much.
Lencho, $10 donation.
Lencho, thank you so much.
Yoshi, $10 donation.
Yoshi, thank you.
Aaron Jones at the buzzer, $10 donation.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Stacy Ruff, $50 donation.
Boom. Thank you, Stacy Ruff.
Yeah, for sure. Jason Hunter, $50 donation.
Damn.
And Jason Hunter said if he wins, he's donating the jersey back.
Thank you, Jason Hunter.
Big Shane, $100 donation. And leader in the clubhouse tonight, Pineapple, $120 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So we're gonna shake this thing up. We're gonna mix it up here. And this first drawing will be for the Tim Brown jersey. Michelle, reach in there and just twirl that around right there. Pause. You already got it. Yeah. Okay, you got it. Okay, so the winner. I will hold it. Yep, I've got it right here. So the winner of the Tim Brown jersey,
number 9 is what
number
it looks
9.
Like.
With a $20 donation tonight.
No way.
Trinidad. Trinidad.
Let's
Congratulations,
go.
my friend. You are the winner of the Tim Brown jersey. Absolutely. Much
sweet.
respect, Trinidad. Trinidad,
Trin hit it on a freaking 20 spot. That's awesome, man.
I love when that
That's
happens, man.
crazy.
That's so fun, man. So
Right
Trinidad,
on.
send us your address, show at RaidersFanRadio.com, and we'll get that out there to you. So next, we're gonna give away a Raiders Fan Radio T-shirt. Raiders Fan Radio
let's do it.
T-shirt.
Let's do
Yep,
it. Let's do it.
absolutely. So Michelle's reaching in there. She's gonna pull one out right here. And number two, that is Big Shane.
Hey,
Big Shane's going to have one of all of our shirts.
I was going to say, we'll have to find out which one he doesn't have.
Yeah. Hey, Shane, email us and let us know which one you don't have, and we'll send it to you.
Yeah, and I've already got your address and your shirt size and everything else.
Absolutely. So we're gonna do two more drawings, and those are for a Raider Dad
patches.
Raider Dad.
You know what? And so you know who's big into patches is Jay.
Yes.
Jay, Jimmy Zebach, like those guys are big into patches. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
And that Raider Dad logo is killer, by the
That's
way.
badass.
Too.
That's badass. So let's see. So the first patch goes to Jason Hunter.
Hey.
Send us your address, Jason, and we will be sending you. Oh, you already got it. Okay. We're going to send you a Raider Dad patch.
Absolutely.
And one more patch.
Okay, one more?
All right, Michelle.
Oh, I love it. I love when we give stuff away. This is so fun.
So good. All right, ready? Yep. All right. So the second patch goes to Raider Loco.
Hey, Raider Loco.
Yeah, Raider Loco. Send us your address, my friend, and we will be shooting you over a Raider Dad patch.
Dang, that was fun. That was
How
cool.
cool is that?
That was super cool, man. Thank you guys so very, very much. Cannot appreciate you enough for what you do to support the One Nation Foundation and of course, Raiders-related charities. And we're going to keep it going. Our goal is to hit $15,000 to give away to the Blitnikoffs this year.
We're going to get there.
We're going to get there. We've already given the Raider Dad folks a couple of grand. And you know what? That was only our first year with Raider Dad.
That's so cool.
Josh, you're going to have more coming your way next year, brother.
Yep.
We're going to freaking keep ramping this thing up. And we appreciate you. I mean, I can't tell you enough how much, and I say this all the time too, we could do an entire show about generosity. The fact that you're willing to share, your money with us and with the foundation to give to these charities just means the world to us. We're just a vessel. We're the idiots with the microphones. You guys are the ones that make all this stuff happen. And we're always sure to tell, whether it's Josh or whether it's Fred and Angela Blitnikoff, whoever it may be that we're giving money to, that it comes from the listening audience and the supporters of Raiders Fan Radio and the One Nation Foundation. You guys are amazing. We love you so very much.
Yeah, no, that's it. The One Nation Foundation, that's the goal. And I just love that we get the opportunity to do this and have fun at the same time. Like, you can't get any better than that.
This was fun tonight.
This was fun, yeah.
It's a good night.
Yeah.
It was a good night. It was a great night, man. And thanks everyone in the chat. Ty Davis, Yoshi, Paul, YO Raider, Grumpy Raider fan, Raider Gears and Threads, our buddy Jay, Seamus Harrington, Trinidad, congratulations on your jersey, my friend. Man, Tony Shefford. The chat was all-time tonight.
I can't wait to go back and read it.
It was so good, man. So interactive. Can't thank you enough. Thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey, for the most part, into the dark side.
Until we're yelling at people
Until we're yelling
Derek
about Derek Carr. So hey, don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas is started in Oakland. Much respect.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night.
We are back! We are back! And we're the three best friends that anybody could have. We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.